Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Woodward Sports Network, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Adam and Jeff, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
Someone's late again. And
oh, wait. I'm going to kill Jeff. I don't care. I don't care if I'm threatening an employee. I don't care. He's dead. He's dead to me. He's dead to me.
Jeff not here again, but we do have a new addition.
I-94 traffic.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on 94. All I know is if there's traffic, I'm leaving a little earlier.
You would think. You would think. But we do have a new addition to the show right in the middle. We've got our Morning Woodward swear jar for Adam Baydoun.
I'm not going to swear.
Okay, good.
I'm not.
That's what it's there for. Adam, I worked hard on that.
Just leave the jar.
Demonic.
I'll donate $20 as like an inaugural,
You know you swear a lot.
Here.
Yeah, that's not, you tell him, Westy. That's certainly not going to cover it. But we have to talk about Campbell. He wants to get more involved in offensive planning. Clearly, offense is a problem when it comes to the Detroit Lions. They put up 6 against the freaking Eagles. That still boggles my mind, but Campbell has admitted he needs to be more involved with the offense. People are getting concerned because they think that Anthony Lynn's offensive style is maybe a bit too slow. They're thinking that Jared Goff plays a bit too conservatively. But Adam, what can this man even do to help this offense at this point?
Honestly, he can't do much. And last I checked, it wasn't his job. Because he didn't come in with an offensive background. He didn't come in with a defensive background. He wasn't a former offensive coordinator. He wasn't a former defensive coordinator. Now, why does that matter? Well, that's who Dan Campbell is. He is banking on surrounding himself with the right people that he can succeed with. And there's nothing wrong with that. But now it's, to quote him, certainly I think I can help more with the offense. I think I need to be a little more just involved in helping with it. Please clarify. You've had 8 weeks. This isn't something new. You've seen it by week 4 or 5. Okay, I understand. You're still getting into a flow. But my goodness, you're 8 weeks in now. You're going into a bye. Now it's like, oh, you know what? Red flag. We're not doing enough. No, just no. And I'm glad he's going to get involved. But is he the guy I want involved? I don't know. I'll give him a chance, absolutely. Be my guest, Dan Campbell. If you get involved and this team looks so much smoother on offense, be my guest. I would be so happy. But that is likely not the case. And that's not what he was hired for. He wasn't hired to be the head coach, but also the offensive, mind behind their game plans, their schemes, their play calling. That's not who he is. So if he wants to go for it, be my guest. But again, this all hits my points on the nail. Like learning on the fly. Coaching on the fly, no real idea of what you're doing. Just like you'll figure it out as we go, and the roster's bad enough where you can get away with that.
And everyone, welcome Jeff to the show.
Hey, buddy.
God, you know what, Adam? I agree with so far what you were saying. Talking about Dan Campbell taking us off.
No, I thought you were talking about what I said in the beginning, but it's okay. Never mind.
No, listen, I don't want to hear what you said in the beginning. But listen, Anthony Lynn, God, I'm going to say it first. This man will not be offensive coordinator when this team's winning games. I don't care.
If this team is winning games.
In the next 2 years, we predict they'll at least jump in the win total. Next year, we're expecting what? Anywhere from 7 to 8, 9 wins, at least hopefully. You don't want this team to, get another 3, 4 wins next year, but when they actually get better players, listen, Anthony Lynn has that slow grinding offense with Jared Goff at quarterback. Very, methodical, old school fashion offense. If you look at teams like Robert Saleh and Dan Campbell similarly are both, they're not play callers, but they are. I mean, Robert Saleh was a defensive coordinator, but at least Dan Campbell, he's just more of a figure. You know what I mean?
He's a leader. He's a leader. He's a guy who's again, okay, let's backtrack a little bit, right? I am taking over a job And as manager or executive of this position, my job is to surround myself with people that I think I can be successful with.
100%.
That's Dan Campbell's job right now, because he's not the offensive-minded head coach or the defensive-minded head coach that is walking in and really putting his stamp on the team. Dan Campbell's stamp is culture, communication, transparency, which is all great.
Yeah.
But how much of that really translates on the field? And you've seen it through 8 games. Yes, the roster's bad. Yes, it's not good enough. But bad rosters can still do better than what this team is doing. And if him getting involved in the offense somehow changes it, 1, I'd be surprised. And 2, I would be very happy. That would be very impressive. I'm all for it. So, yeah, go for it, Dan. Go for it. Try it out.
I think maybe, too. Like, when people see Dan Campbell's going to get more involved in the offense, it might be like, he ain't drawing up plays for Anthony Lynn. I think it's more so overseeing it.
How? No. Because he was already doing that for the first 8 weeks. And if he wasn't, I'd be really concerned.
Listen, there's a difference. Like, I think he knows Anthony Lynn's his offensive coordinator. He's not going to get in Anthony Lynn's business too much. I mean, yeah, he wants to know what plays he's running, but it hasn't been working. I mean, the guys...
I promise you, Bill Belichick is all up in Josh McDaniels' ears.
But that is,
and Josh McDaniels is one of the best offensive coordinators probably in the last 10 years in the NFL. And this guy, even though he commands the respect of the room, still has to go to the head coach and say, hey, this is what I'm planning for this game. What do you think? You like this part of it? You don't like this part of it? We can communicate. If that hasn't been happening for the first 8 games, I don't know what the hell to say.
I think it's been happening. I think with Bill Belichick, though, he knows his reputation's on the line, Bill Belichick. I'm sure Dan Campbell knows this too, but it's more so respect. Like, it's a buddy-buddy league. Anthony Lynn, Dan Campbell, they go way back. It's probably not necessarily them making the offense together, but kind of like him just being like, all right,
can we agree,
what's working, what's not?
Can we agree? Anthony Lynn, his responsibility is to come up schematically with a game plan, correct?
Correct.
He's going to script out the first 2 drives.
Yep.
He's going to script out the opening drive of the second half. They're going to put together their 2-minute offense, etc., etc. Okay, great. You still have to run it by the head coach.
100%. I mean, you're
not
wrong.
So what is Dan Campbell offering more if it's just overseeing? That's what he should have been doing. And I like to believe he has been doing that for the first 8 weeks. Granted, I'm going to throw him a bone. The offense isn't the greatest, but has more weapons than most offenses around the NFL. Yes, your quarterback is hot garbage. No, okay, that's fine. Deal with it. Deal with it. You've had 8 weeks to marginally improve. You haven't done it. I'm not asking for 8-9 wins. I'm not even asking for 5 or 6 wins.
Just improvement.
I am just looking for week-to-week improvement from individual players, from the coaching staff, where I can look ahead to the future and say, you know what? When this when this roster does turn around, when the quarterback potentially is in place, I can see how this translates on to Sundays in the future, where you can win football games. I don't see that right now. I hope to see it in the remaining 9 games. But this is your reality. And if Dan Campbell wants to help out, again, I'm all for it. Go for it, dude. Be my guest. But what the hell have you been doing the first 8 weeks? I hope it's not just over. If what you're saying is true, which I hope it isn't, is that he's going to get more involved now, that he's going to oversee it. Well, he hasn't been doing his job for 8 weeks.
I think it's making sure, like, obviously, if you watch Dan Campbell in the press conferences or anybody, if you watch the film on the Detroit Lions, the offense just looks off. I mean, you can talk about the talent we have, because look at the Jets. Mike White, 400 yards. I'm sure Robert Saleh is kind of letting Mike LaFleur do his thing. I'm sure he's overseeing it, but more so just listen.
But you're taking care of it. You got to learn. Guys, look, for example, I don't know everything. I don't. So when I'm in a room with individuals that I work with, I am going to communicate openly and freely.
100%.
So hopefully that he shares something, she can share something with me, something that maybe I didn't think of. Dan Campbell's responsibility, his core responsibility as a head coach, is to be on the same page with his defensive and offensive coordinator. That way they can all be on the same page on Sunday. And if you're telling me that, I'm just going to let you guys do you. No. What if I see something in the game plan I don't agree with? You need to convince me why it should be there. I'm the head coach. Tell me why we're going to go for an empty set on 4th and inches. Why is this play call in here? Why? I don't agree with this. We're 0 for 7 this year doing this. Stop.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a complete failure. I'm not okay with this at all.
And I think that I'm not defending Dan Campbell, but more so, I mean, it's hard because Dan Campbell's obviously, we know this, never been a coordinator, and you have Anthony Lynn, who's even if you have an empty set on 4th down, and Dan Campbell might not agree with it. It's hard. What's Dan Campbell's case to pitch to him? He has never been a coordinator. He's more so just, and you're right, this isn't the right way to do it, but trusting your quote-unquote, your boy, your friend, your offensive coordinator.
I trust who I work with, absolutely.
Right.
But my core job as a leader at any company, and you can call the Detroit Lions a company if you want, your core responsibility as a leader is to communicate, follow up, and hold people accountable.
True.
And when you're 8 weeks in and you're still lining up in the empty set on 4th and inches,
it falls on Dan at the end of the day.
It's on Dan Campbell at the end of the day. And it's on me at the end of it. That's how it works. And if you can't accept that, too damn bad. But now all of a sudden going out of the bye week, hey, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to get more involved in the offense. Great. I hope you actually make an impact. I would be very happy. Honestly, I'm not being sarcastic at all.
Well,
that would be a good thing.
We've seen time and time again with Dan Campbell that pretty much what he does in press conferences, in interviews, is take accountability for things, even if, I mean, he is the head coach. It does fall on him, but how much of this is just like kind of his routine of saying, like, my bad? Because that's all we get from him most of the time.
Well, you know what? What more do you expect? Again, this isn't a guy that's going to go into the press conference and give you a Brandon Staley 2-minute soundbite of why they prepare the way they do or why they value pass rushes over sacks.
He'll give you a soundbite.
He's going to give you a soundbite about biting somebody or something about Cocoa Puffs or whatever. Ventico, I don't know. Whatever it is, regardless. Look, Dan Campbell has chosen his path. This is who he is. And the Lions have chosen this. You hired a head coach who is not going with the NFL, where the NFL is heading. Where the NFL is heading is towards a Zach Taylor, Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur, an OC, future head coaches like Kellen Moore, Joe Brady, Mike LaFleur. Those are up-and-comers. That's where the NFL is going. Now, is it the right fit right now for the Detroit Lions? I don't think so. I think the roster needs a ton of work.
Yeah.
But perspective, look where the NFL is going. So don't compare, let's say, a Dan Campbell to any of these young coaches because you're not going to get that from him. Now, if he wants to be more involved in the offense, I'm curious how. Because if it really is just overseeing, Dan, you haven't done your job for 8 weeks. That's your core responsibility, is to make sure your team every week is in the best position possible at all times to somewhat succeed.
Yeah.
No one's calling for your head because you're going to win maybe 3-4 games this year. But don't you dare go 17 games and not show any life of improvement from a coaching standpoint and from a team standpoint. You got to improve.
And if not,
I use the Matt Rule example because it's the truth. Coaching matters in the NFL. I don't care what Joik Bell says. It's not, players play. No, if that was the case, the most talented teams every year would win. It's not the case. Coaching does matter. And Matt Rule took over a 5-11 team. Year one, they still went 5-11. They dealt with a ton of injuries, but you know what they did? They improved across the board, statistically in every category. And I'm not talking marginal improvement. I'm talking significant improvement.
With a 30-year-old offensive coordinator. He's like 32.
So big picture here. All you're looking for from this team is I just want to see week-to-week marginal development, and by the end of the year, I want to look back to last year and say, we got better in these areas, and we were down people. We had injuries. We overcame adversity, but look, we actually improved. We were more efficient. We were more this. We were more that. If I can't do that at the end of the year, I'm going to be scratching my head, and that's how I feel most Lions fans should be.
All right, you guys. Well, when we come back, we will be talking Pistons for you guys. But before we go, our friends over at Northwestern Tech.
All right, listen, I'm sick of looking at this offense for the Lions. And if you are too, tell Anthony Lynn to quit his job and go to Northwestern Tech.
So rude.
Because he would benefit greatly. All right, you could start a new career in an industry that is always essential. It's the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. All right, so the Pistons are taking on the 76ers tonight at LCA. Last time they played, they were on the road. It was a close game, 110-102. The Pistons just lost. Hopefully, the team's shooting is better tonight. That seems to be the glaring issue. They're 28th in the league for three-pointers with 9.6 per game, and they are last in shooting percentage with 26.7% out of the 30 teams. We can preview the game a little bit for everyone, but then what everyone is talking about, when should we worry about Cade Cunningham, Jeff?
Well, I hate the whole worry about Cade Cunningham, especially only 2 games into his young career. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. All right, you're looking at Cade Cunningham over the course of 82 games of his rookie year. Taking 2-game sample size, the kid's missed training camp. The only really action he's gotten is Summer League, and we saw how he played in Summer League. He played actually absolutely amazing. He hit a bunch of big shots. Now looking at the regular season, he suffered that ankle injury, held him out of preseason, held him out of a lot of the training camp. He was really doing individual workouts, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to come in and light the league up game one. I mean, guys like Jalen Green were able to get those extra reps. All these guys, the top 5, all these picks, Jalen Suggs as well. Like, all these guys have gotten the entirety of the training camp in preseason. Cade Cunningham has kind of a lot to catch up. It's sort of like, hiring me to do a job for you, and I'm sick the first week or 2 weeks of work, and I come back and you're expecting me to catch up on everything I've missed. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a little bit to get his legs under him. You can't expect him to be a world beater game 3 of his career. But I will say this, the shooting doesn't really worry me. Because guys, they go through shooting slumps, especially young guys in their career. You see how a lot of the rookies, especially, I understand he was the first overall pick, but even in years past, everyone starts off rough in the league. You shoot, what is he shooting? He hasn't hit a 3 yet, which concerns me, obviously. I think that's not going to, last very long. But in terms of, he only has 2 turnovers a game. He's limiting his turnovers, and he somehow finds a way to have a positive plus-minus in the games he plays. He's still making an impact no matter if he's shooting the ball poorly, and that's kind of what you want to look at. I'm not going to really look at Cade and worry. The guy just played 29 minutes for the first time last game. He played 19 his first game. He should be playing 30 minutes a night, which he will get to that point. But I'm going to have to wait and see probably a good 45 to 75 game sample size before I'm really judging Cade and his performances, because 2 games in, I'm not really. He's shooting 13% from the field goal range. That's not going to stay. 13%. That's just not going to stay. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not really worried about Cade. It's just mainly this team overall. You didn't really know the flaws until they really got on the floor. Thus far, 1-6. They're 7 games into the season. You can see this team's missing size. They have Isaiah Stewart at the 5 every game, and you go up against teams like tonight, like Philly. They're out of Tobias Harris, no Ben Simmons, of course. So it's going to be a 76ers team that's missing some of their top guys. It does not matter. Joel Embiid, he's going to body Isaiah Stewart. This is what we've seen in the first game they played. They're going to have problems with 7-footers, and especially guys that can average run anywhere from 14 rebounds a game. Isaiah Stewart just can't keep up with that pace. And you know what? I see Isaiah Stewart's future really at the 4, and they're going to end up probably taking a big either this year or signing a big, because that's kind of the last missing piece of this team I'm really worried about, because every game they're getting beat on the boards, and they're not hitting their free throws. And that's really the keys that this team needs to kind of get fixed or get worked out, because thus far, every game they're getting outplayed on the boards, and you're going against a 7-foot guy in Joel Embiid, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate every year. It's going to pay dividends.
It's funny. It's so funny when they go up against a small team, they look really good, and then when they go up against a team that has like an average big man, it doesn't even need to be a dominant one like a Joel Embiid or a Rudy Gobert. They struggle. Big men are still useful in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. When you're 7 feet, you make it very difficult for guards and forwards to rebound. It's probably your whole presence just changes the whole floor, honestly. But regarding Cade, I agree, man. It's too early. Give him time. Give him time. Let him get his legs under him. But my only concern or the advice I would give Cade is don't settle.
Yeah.
Don't settle this early on. Don't get into the bad habit of, you know what, it's not my night. I'm just going to keep jacking up threes. That is key. Russell Westbrook and every rookie post Steph Curry's MVP year that's coming to the league and they just jack up threes because that's where they think the NBA is, which it kind of is technically, but that doesn't mean you can be shooting that many threes. Cade, you have no business shooting 7 threes a game. You can shoot 3 or 4, and on a good night, 6, 7, or 8.
Yeah.
But no, that's not your game. Go back to your game. Go to the mid-range. Drive into the hole, and I'm sure the ankle is affecting him. But don't settle. And if you're not ready to commit and play your game, please don't play. Don't aggravate the ankle. Don't do anything. But don't just go out on the court and settle for 3-pointers. It's not going to go well for you, at least in my opinion.
No, you're absolutely right, and that obviously has to do a lot with the ankle. But to your credit, if it is bothering him enough, hold him out. I mean, this is again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. The Pistons aren't going to be good this year. I still have them over 25 wins. Doesn't mean they're going to be good. So for your number 1 overall pick, I think a lot of the fans just see guys like Jalen Green, Evan Mobley. Everyone's they're playing. They played their training camp. They played the preseason. They play in the regular season. They're playing well, but that does not matter. What matters is in Detroit and what we have in Cade Cunningham, which I still believe he's the right pick. He's the right number 1 overall pick. I don't believe the whole you should have taken Jalen Green. It's way too early for any of that. I mean, Cade Cunningham might not win Rookie of the Year because of the ankle injuries kind of keeping him out. He's going to take some games to get his legs under him. But again, it's the long run. What does Cade look like in 3 years? You know what I mean? That's kind of what Pistons fans need to be focused on. Not worry about an ankle injury lingering on Cade. It's obviously going to affect his game. I mean, that's a given, especially a guy who's trying to get caught up. I mean, the team they've played more games without Cade than they have with. I mean, they have chemistry already without him, so they're trying to kind of get him on the floor and get him acclimated. So I'm not worried about it. They'll definitely get a top 5, top 10 pick this year. You use it on another, hopefully a franchise player, someone you could start, hopefully a center. Or, take a shooting guard. Take someone else. I don't know. Figure it out. But until then, I'm not worried about Cade. Like I said, give him the entirety of the season. Kind of evaluate him. I still think he can get you anywhere from 15 points a game this year. 15, 5, and 5 is still likely for Cade. And it'll take, 82 games to show what he can show. So I'm not worried about it. Just the Pistons fans that say, we should have taken Jalen Green. Those guys are worried about it because they're watching
It's way too early.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in doing this, especially in the NBA when unless you're an anomaly like a LeBron James, a Melo, where you just walk into the league and you're a bucket.
Right.
It doesn't happen often. KD walk into the league, straight bucket. It doesn't happen often, guys. Mm-hmm. So usually it takes 3, 4, 5 years before they start entering that all-star to star, even superstar category. And typically, to become a superstar, it takes you probably till year 6 or 7. That's just the history of the NBA. Go by history, not just what you want to fascinate in your head. That's not how it works. He needs about 2 years to become an all-star. And if he does it sooner than that, I'd be really impressed. And by year 3 or 4, it's like, are you a star player or not?
Right.
Or are you just a guy that can put up numbers? That's just the game. That's how you figure out every player.
Jalen Green included.
And Jalen Green, he'll probably be a bucket in the NBA in a few years, but who's better? You're going to know in 5, 6, 7 years. You're not going to know right away, unless one of them just completely falls out of the league, which I don't expect.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. I think that'll be the battle for years to come. We'll see some Houston Rockets versus Pistons games. That'll be a good rivalry, but I ain't worried. Not worried.
We have a few minutes, so I actually want to touch on this. Somebody in the chat, Mr. Sports, good morning, Adam and Jeff. What is your take on the Tigers getting a catcher? I like it.
Yeah,
I thought it was good. That was a solid move. I mean, World Series just ended, and they made a move that quick, and they got.
Yep.
I read something. I think he's like a top 10 catcher defensively.
Yeah.
In all of baseball.
And that's the people
that is a good, solid backup.
And that's the people that say, what about Eric Haas? We have a catcher. But to your credit, Eric Haas isn't, what is
Eric
he,
Haas
top
is going to play
50?
120 games.
Yeah.
And the other guy's going to play about 140.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, 40. Sorry,
Yeah.
excuse me. Matt,
I have some
totally
stats on him because I did him in my hot clock.
He's a
this
300
morning.
batter, isn't he?
Shout out. I don't have his batting stuff, but he's one of 27 catchers in the MLB to win multiple Golden Glove awards. And he's also one of 9 catchers in the National League that played at least 116 games. He's only been injured once, and it was very short. So he's a very durable, good player.
And he bats just under
move.
30. So, I mean, listen, I like it.
I like it.
It's a good move.
I think it's a good move. People saying Carlos Correa signing soon. We'll see.
We will see.
Well, honestly, we'll see. And I hope for the best. We'll see who they splash money out on. I still think Cody Bellinger is, my ideal candidate, although I think LA do everything to keep him and probably re-up and try to go for another World Series run. But we'll see. I think Carlos Correa probably makes most sense. You need a shortstop.
Yep.
So that's the play. it'll be an interesting offseason for the Tigers. Adam and Jeff, what are your takes on Brad Holmes, doing nothing at the deadline? I'm getting nervous. The only move he's traded is a 5th rounder for a wideout who hasn't seen the field. Do you want to start with me?
I'll start. I think, listen, the Trinity Benson deal, Brad Holmes, this is his first really season as a GM making moves, and a couple of them have been questionable. Like the Trinity Benson, probably unnecessary at this point. You should have kept the draft capital regardless because he hasn't done squat anyway. But I don't believe, a lot of people say, why don't you bring in a Desean Jackson? This is not the year to sign any of those guys.
If I may.
Yeah.
If I may. Let me address 2 things. First, Kalen, Nathan, the Lions are tanking. They're not tanking. They're just that bad. Number 2, to answer his question, Holmes' cap space is very limited.
Yeah. What do you want him to do?
What do you want him to do? I don't want him doing anything. Right now, you're positioning yourself to get a top 2, top 3 pick. And next year, you'll probably get a top 8, top 10 pick. And you have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 seasons. That's your timeline. And we'll get to the Lions timeline later on. Jack, how can you say that we will find out about Cade in 3 years, but Sewell was on bust alert before he took a snap because of struggling in the preseason? Well, genius. First of all, the NBA is a completely different sport than football. In football, you kind of know right away. Micah Parsons, one of the best linebackers in the NFL, so maybe
Micah.
Shut the hell up.
Micah.
Is it Micah?
Yes, you say Micah every time.
I don't care. So shut the hell up on that. Rashawn Slater, one of the best tackles in the NFL right now, also a rookie, so shut the hell up on that.
Know.
And second of all, Jack Johnson, my friend, my dear friend.
I love that his name's Jack Johnson.
I love it's a good name, actually. But, Jack, please, hear me out. 3 preseason games at right tackle, not at left tackle. What happened, Jack? He played at right tackle, and he looked god-awful. He moves to left tackle because Taylor Decker is injured, and he has an amazing first 2 games. That's why. He was on bust alert because he's playing out of position, and he looked awful in the preseason against 3rd and 4th stringers. He shows up week 1 against Nick Bosa, dominates that game. Plays very well. And now the last 3 weeks, he's had a PFF rating, I believe, on average of 84. Top 8 left tackle in the NFL those last 3 games. Stop. Don't like try to, change words, all this BS. Just stop it. The cap is $2 million, OG Kush. You're spot on.
OG Kush.
I don't care. Regarding Funky, Desean Jackson will go to the best team. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's not. Nobody's coming to Detroit, guys, and they're not coming in the offseason.
Because I saw yesterday, the bottom line, I talked about this, and Braylon Edwards was talking about how he's actually surprised because teams he played for, they were always bringing guys in and cycling guys out.
He never played for the Lions.
That's the point. Like, he hasn't. This is a rebuild, technically. I mean, I know they're not trying to.
He played for the Jets, to be fair, but the Jets were going to AFC title games.
Yeah, they were the better Jets, their better years. So the Lions are just different, man. Like, they're a different animal, especially this year. Who are you bringing in? Don't bring in Desean Jackson. Please don't. I mean, if he's going to help you win games, keep him away from the facility. And if you're bringing in Golden Tate, that was the only guy preseason that I was like, you know what? It wouldn't hurt to bring in Tate. But the more I look at it, you're winless
I wouldn't bring
right
in
now.
a single
but
soul.
Now you don't bring in a single soul.
Nobody. Guys, you suck. Team
Just
is
take
awful.
it. Embrace it.
Embrace the suck. And 2-3 years from now, you're probably going to have a really good football team because of the amount of picks you've acquired and because of where you'll be picking.
I don't want to have a situation where Todd Gurley falls out of the end zone and we have a higher pick or lower pick. Rather.
I don't know. I think there's going to be 4 teams that win about 3 to 4 games, and then the Lions stuck at 0 or 1.
Let's hope.
So the schedule's not
top
getting any
3,
easier.
baby. Top 3.
Well, we got to go to break, Kennedy.
We do, and that means we need to hear from our friends over at MyBookie. When we come back, some drama in the NFL. We'll get into all of it, but first, MyBookie.
Guys, MyBookie, what else do I need to say? Bet from anywhere, anytime, using MyBookie. Sign up today using code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll give you $100. You put in $200, they'll match you and give you $200. Again, that's MyBookie. The convenient part, the thing I love so much about this is there's no geolocation tracker. It's something that's really frustrating. Sometimes my iPhone acts up and I can't bet whether I'm out of state or whatever I may be traveling. Maybe I'm even some part of Birmingham where there's just no reception. I just can't. But with MyBookie, I can. I absolutely love it. Super convenient. Visit their website. Again, that's mybookie.com. Use code Woodward when you sign up today. And please, if you have a gambling problem, call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back, everyone. Lots of, chatter happening about OBJ over in Cleveland right now. I'll let you know what's happening. So he's clearly frustrated with the lack of targets that he's receiving from his quarterbacks. His father made it very, very well known in his 11-minute Instagram video that was basically a highlight reel of all of the times that OBJ should have been thrown the ball but wasn't. So now he clearly wasn't traded before the deadlines, but Stefanski told the team in a meeting that OBJ is essentially not on the team. He's on the team, but he's not playing anymore, basically. And then we have Baker now, who went to a press conference, was asked about it, and now he wants an apology. I don't know.
OBJ sucks.
I disagree.
He sucks.
I don't think
you can't disagree. Let's start.
You can disagree.
He started off his career phenomenally. I mean, one of the best wide receiver talents I've seen. Just come onto the scene and dominate the NFL.
100%.
1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns rookie year. Almost 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns the second year. 1,370 yards, 10 touchdowns. 3 straight years over 1,300 yards and double-digit touchdowns.
Then he got hurt.
Unfortunately, that is not the OBJ you get right now. Now you get the OBJ that's been hurt for 5 consecutive years.
Where is he playing?
Hear me out. Whoa. Don't even. Jarvis Landry putting up way better numbers. Wait, hear me out. Okay. Odell Beckham, his last 13 games, has been targeted over 80 times.
By
his
who?
catch rate. Hear me out. Okay, if we want to compare him and Landry, don't because
I'm not comparing
Landry's
him
doing just fine
his
with
quarterback?
Baker Mayfield. Who's his quarterback in freaking New York? Eli freaking Manning.
But guess the chemistry between Eli and Odell in New York.
Oh my
Jarvis
God.
Oh my God, he doesn't know anything about chemistry with quarterbacks and wide receivers. I didn't know that. He played quarterback. But you know what I will explain is in Cleveland they traded for OBJ to have a connection like the Bills do with Stephon Diggs. That's why they acquired OBJ. For whatever reason, Baker Mayfield and OBJ do not work. They don't.
Excuse me? They do not work?
They don't.
The dude's been on the field 13 times in the last 2 seasons.
And guess what? He's only gotten targeted. He gets targeted, but have you seen?
He gets targeted.
Yeah, I know.
Last 13 games, 40 catches. 13 games. You're talking almost a full damn season.
Adam,
a full damn season.
You're losing
the last
this
2
argument.
years.
Don't do it.
40 receptions.
Don't do it.
550 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I wouldn't do it.
He doesn't even have a touchdown reception.
Adam,
Stop this. Stop it.
You're going to lose this argument.
The
you know
dude
why?
is always hurt. That's why he doesn't get targeted.
We can sit on a couch, Adam, have some popcorn.
They have no chemistry because his bum is always hurt.
Hold on. No, listen.
The bum is always hurt, and that's why they have no chemistry.
He's never been active this whole season. But anyway, listen. The only reason why we can sit on a little nice couch, we can watch some film of the Browns and see every single target Odell has gotten. And you could tell me if those balls are catchable. Please tell me.
Was the 4th and 2 ball catchable in Baltimore?
One ball.
No, I'm giving you an example.
I can give you 5.
Give me them.
Okay, so what he just played in last game, we'll go through it right now.
Okay.
So this is the last game. Targeted 6 times in Denver.
Yep.
All off. He caught 2 of them. So you're going to blame...
How do you know they're all off?
Because I watched the game. Did you watch the game versus Denver?
I want to see the film. I want to see them. Last I checked, when you're a star wide receiver,
Case Keenum
even
missed
if it's
him.
behind you, it doesn't matter. You're going to catch the ball. He's not who he used to be, man. He's not worth what you're paying him. It's that simple. OBJ is not worth the trouble. Cleveland have a winning record with OBJ off the field.
So
Baker,
get rid of him.
Stop for 1 second. Baker, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You said no.
No, go to Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure you'll see if he's still top.
Okay, go. Baker Mayfield has a better passer rating, fewer interceptions, more yards per game, more touchdowns per game, better QBR every game that he doesn't play without Odell Beckham Jr.
Can I explain? Baker Mayfield's a young quarterback. Listen. He's okay with sharing the wealth. He's got Jarvis Landry.
He's asked to do that because he plays in the Kevin Stefanski offense.
If you give OBJ, let's say you give drop OBJ off any other team. What's name a team? You can go Packers. Drop them off.
Let's say we do
Patriots.
that. You drop them. No. Let's do Packers. Okay.
Drop them anywhere.
You're missing the point. You're acting as if OBJ is translating to victories right now.
No,
Cleveland is winning without him.
That's not my
argument.
argument.
And he's not even available. And when he's available, like he has been his last 13 games, 40 catches in 13 games. That's less than 3 a game. Let's see, 550 yards. That's awful. 3 touchdowns in 13 games. Odell Beckham isn't who he used to be. Look, I loved him as a talent. Don't get me wrong. And he still probably has something to offer on a better team and a more dynamic offense. But what Cleveland does really well is they run the ball really well. They go on play action. You know what they ask OBJ to do, which maybe he doesn't like? They ask him to run over the top and make a big play once a game. That's all they ask of him. They're not trying to give him 10 targets. If he wants 10 targets, he can go play somewhere else. But I'm telling you right now, this guy isn't this amazing wide receiver on the market, unhappy playing in Cleveland. They should no, he's not all that. Baker's numbers are better without him. That is a fact, and he has not been who he has been. Why? Because of injuries. And he's coming off a major injury. The guy isn't who he used to be.
The injuries don't help Adam, but just sitting here and saying he's not the same anymore. Yes, he's not the same as the New York Giants. When he was with the New York Giants putting up 1,400 yards a season, that was spectacular. But I think OBJ can still get you 1,100 yards a season. The guy
but is that what you need? Do you need 1,100 yards from OBJ over targeting him, or do you prefer him to get 700 yards, but it's efficient? His catch rate, hear me out. For year one, rookie, we're talking about a rookie. Year one, 70% catch rate. Year two, 68. Year three, 63. He was catching the ball at a significant rate. He wouldn't drop it. And you're talking to Eli Manning, the guy who lead the lead in interceptions, 5-6 years?
Yeah, because Eli knew. Target the man.
But my point is, Eli was also inaccurate. So now you go down, and every year, Odell Beckham has gotten worse and worse and worse with his catch rate. You want to blame it on Baker, Jesus, Kevin Stefanski? I don't care who you blame it on. The guy is regressing. He can go to any team he wants. If he thinks he's still great, good for him. Cleveland's not asking him to be great. They're asking him to run deep routes, spread the field, and make plays when they ask him to. And so far, in the last 2 seasons, because he's been hurt, and because this season they've been struggling, and he's been struggling to catch the ball, they're not happy with him, and he shouldn't be happy with them. I don't care. But regarding, the whole idea, it's not like he's some top. This isn't a DeAndre Hopkins situation where the guy's in his prime. We don't know what Odell Beckham still has to offer. And if you think 1,100 yards,
we don't know because he's on a team that's not utilizing
No, because he's always hurt. He hasn't played a full season in 5 years.
He's okay. Let's go back. 2018 with the Giants, he played 13 games. Okay, not a full season, but majority. Of it.
Majority. I'll give you that.
With the Cleveland Browns, he played 16, and then last
year, right? But first year with Cleveland, how many yards did he get?
He got over 1,000.
No. Say it. 1,065, correct?
1,035. But he played. He had 133
barely 1,000
targets.
yards in a full season. That's production. That's $18 million.
That was his first season in Cleveland.
Is that $18 million a year worth of production? I'm asking you.
Listen, I'm not the GM.
Then what's the argument here?
I'm arguing put him because of the situation he's in. His production is getting affected. That's my argument. I'm not going to sit here and say he's
not producing
he's in Cleveland.
even when he's on the field. Look at his last 13 games where he's on the field and he's healthy.
Adam, they have Baker
he's averaging
Mayfield,
barely 3 receptions a game and barely 37 yards a game. You're paying him $14 million a year to get you 3 catches, 30 yards a game? No, absolutely not. No. Sorry, not going to happen.
Listen,
he has value somewhere else. Good for him. Whether it's in Cleveland,
New
England, Detroit. I don't give a crap where it is. All I know is he's not the receiver he used to be. And if I'm a GM, I'm not even wasting my time with this guy.
Here's some of the footage his dad put on his Instagram.
Yeah.
This is all year.
His dad's highlight reel.
I'm not saying OBJ is what he wasn't. This isn't me saying I still remember the New York Giants OBJ. This is who it is. I still believe he can get you over 1,000 yards. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't know. Eli was bad, but this is very bad. I mean, these.
I'm waiting for it.
He's wide open. This is he ran.
Okay, okay, that's fine. But
there's 5 weeks right
there. Okay. How about it's not that he's just getting missed when he's open. How about when we throw you the ball? What do you do with it? You catch it at a 50% catch rate.
Where is he throwing the ball?
You're acting as if Baker Mayfield has a 67% completion percentage over the last 2 seasons. Stop it. It's not like he's some inaccurate quarterback.
He is inaccurate. I mean, but listen,
you don't throw
downfield. It's like Jared Goff. You're using the 66% completion argument when he's throwing to who?
No, Odell
Jarvis
Beckham.
Landry on a slant and Austin Hooper.
No, Baker. Okay, guys, holy shit.
Swear jar.
Where's my wallet?
Let's go. First of the day, everyone. Keep making your point, Adam.
I'm just saying, OBJ, he's not what he used to be. All right, injuries and everything, but I still believe go somewhere else. He can still be effective. That's my argument. All right.
I don't think he can be effective anywhere. I think he's hurt. I think he's way past it. He doesn't have his legs under him. He's not as quick as he used to be. He's not the dynamic receiver he used to be, and I wouldn't take a flyer on him if I was a GM. Kennedy, we got to go to break.
We do, which means we need to hear about the best defense, Guardian Alarm.
Oh, listen, Guardian Alarm, their defense is effective. And Guardian Alarm, they get it. Good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock your doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. That's 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. We're already $1 into our swear jar, and we're just getting started, friends. Adam is flipping me off. Anyway, by now, I'm sure you've seen it everywhere. Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID-19 after not telling the full truth in a press conference. Westy, do you have the clip?
Give him a second.
Maybe.
Relax, Kennedy.
Sorry.
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized.
So he said he was immunized.
He didn't lie. It was a great play of words.
I mean, it was. I have to give him credit
They
there.
did boost his antibodies to give him an advantage a little bit, so he's
Look,
not completely lying. But.
He didn't. He fibbed. I think it's
He
kind
fibbed.
of. I think it's kind of BS though. I think he led people on to believe he was vaccinated. I think that's inappropriate. I really do.
He
I
knew
think
what
all you
they
have
were
to do-
asking.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, this is Aaron Rodgers though. This guy is a guy that likes to manipulate people, manipulate the media, get the narrative out the way he wants it, and he did a good job of it. But here you go. Now you're going to miss the next 10 days. And you're going to miss the KC game, and likely you're going to miss Seattle. Unless you somehow pull around 2 negative tests in 24 hours the day before. Good luck. Good luck. I mean, that's just putting your team in a bad situation, and that's the last thing I need my quarterback doing. We talk about what you want your quarterback to represent. Look, whether you want the vaccine or not, I could care less. Make your own decision. But when we're a team, and your decision impacts all 52 of us, I have a problem with it. You know what the league says. Now, you got lucky, Aaron. You're 7-1. Your team can afford to lose the next 2 games. But if this happens again, come January, and we're in a playoff game, it's unforgivable. So I want to know where the communication was here, because I don't know if you have to report to the league.
The Packers had to have known he wasn't.
Well, even if they knew, that's my question. Do you have to report who's vaccinated and who
You
isn't?
do,
No.
because
So if you do, go ahead.
if someone on the team is unvaccinated and someone in the locker room, even if is vaccinated and has COVID, the people that aren't vaccinated still have to quarantine. You know what I mean?
Okay, but still,
So he could still
do
sit out
NFL
again.
teams send out a list of vaccinated, unvaccinated players? They do. So this has been public information, but it's not been
Correct.
shared.
Yes.
The guy's unvaccinated. Okay, that's fine. He's got COVID now. He'll live, likely. There you go. Move on. But again, it affects the team. Where I get upset is how it's going to affect his football team. And this is a big message to all the other quarterbacks out there that aren't vaccinated. Hey, FYI, if you're playing in January and you get COVID, I literally, as a teammate, will never forgive you. And I will never talk to you again. If you're unavailable on a Sunday because you didn't want to take the vaccine, I don't believe it, whatever. I'm trying to win football games right now. You think I care what you think about the vaccine? We're all in this together. And your selfish decision to manipulate us into thinking you actually had it, because if he had the vaccine, he'd only miss 3 days and he'd be playing in Kansas City right now. He'd only have to quarantine for a few days.
Well, and unvaccinated players have different protocol when it comes to hotels, where they can go, how much they can be out. So who knows? I've heard both sides, that he was following the unvaccinated protocol. But I've also heard that no, he hasn't been. So Lord knows where he's been and if he was following those rules the whole time too, which was a whole nother can of worms of NFL protocol rules. And
yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like the message it's sending from my CEO of my company. Imagine I am pitching and advocating all my employees to wear green jeans on Wednesdays, and I think it's so important for the company, and it's a mandate. Guys, it's not a mandate, but hey, this is strongly recommended. Wednesdays, I need you to show up in green pants so we're all in uniform. And my CEO shows up on a Wednesday. Everybody, or a majority of the company, has it, and my CEO is walking around in red pants. What message does that send? It's not a good message. I don't like it. It's just Aaron, though. Aaron is a selfish person who only cares about Aaron. And that's not surprising to me. And everything I've complimented on Aaron throughout the season because he's played phenomenally, now it's like, well, here you go, Aaron. You can't help yourself, can you? You really can't. You just can't just be a professional for one time in your life. Your team is relying on you. Even if I didn't want to get a vaccine, if I knew I'm playing in late January, which I expect this team to be playing in a divisional round NFC championship game, I'm getting the needle in my arm. I don't want to let down my teammates.
But that's you. You know what I mean?
But that's what you need from your executive, your CEO, your quarterback. What's best for everybody around me, not for me. I may disagree with it, but damn it, I'm doing it because the 52 guys around me are relying on me to be available. And now I'm jeopardizing 2 games of availability because I'm selfish and I don't want to take the vaccine. Great job, Aaron. Great job. Well done. 10 out of 10. But I'm not surprised at all, Jeff.
No, I mean, I'm not surprised. I think we know this. Everyone has a choice whether or not to get the vaccine. But unfortunately, in the world we live in, there's consequences for everything. I mean, we look at the NHL. Tyler Bertuzzi is not getting the vaccine. Unfortunately, he can't go to Canada. Kyrie Irving wasn't getting the vaccine. He's not playing still. Like, there's levels to this. With Aaron Rodgers, like you said, technically the quarterback, you're the CEO of your team, and every individual has their choice whether or not you want to get the vaccine. His way of going about it, didn't agree with it, telling the media you've been immunized, and then you go
immunized,
yeah, whatever. I can't say that word for some reason. Immunized.
There you go.
God, having a brain fart.
That's
Love
like
it, Jeff.
with
The traffic this morning
specific
just got
and
me, man. This traffic this morning just got me. But anyway, with Aaron Rodgers, it's him trying to boost his antibodies and do it that way. I get it. You're trying to go elsewhere and do other things, but it just, like you said, COVID. Every player on the team, majority, has the COVID vaccine. They're all bought into one goal, and that's to hopefully be playing in January, in February, hopefully, and be deep in the playoffs. And that starts with getting the vaccine, because like you said, if they're in the championship game, Aaron Rodgers gets COVID, Jordan Love has to start. The team's never going to. They're going to be pissed that even let that situation happen.
Absolutely, Ghost, you're so wrong. Football is not entertainment. It's entertainment for fans, not the 53 guys in the locker room and the coaching staff and the people that work in the building, in the kitchen, doing laundry, equipment managers. It's not a game to them. It's not entertainment. That's their livelihood. And when my game check or my bonus check is affected because you didn't get a vaccine, that's a problem. This is not about entertainment, genius. This is about Aaron Rodgers. You don't show up the next 2 games. I need to get 35 receptions this year to get $100K bonus in my contract. When you start, I average 6 targets a game. When you don't play, I average 2. That's affecting my income. And that applies to every single player. And now Jordan Love is starting, which means your offensive line may be giving up more sacks. So what happens if they give up more than 2-3 sacks and an individual has an off night? Well, then he loses his bonus in his contract. Why? Or he had too many holding penalties. Whatever it may be, whatever the bonuses are in the contract, however they're structured, it's getting affected for every individual on the team. So no, Aaron Rodgers sat up there, manipulated the media and said, I am immunized. He gave off the perception that he was vaccinated, but hey, to each their own. When he, in fact, made the decision, which is his decision to make, that, hey, I'm not going to get it. Cool. Be open. Be very transparent about it.
Should have said it.
Everybody thought you were vaccinated.
Yeah.
And it turns out you weren't. And now you're missing the next 10 days, probably the next 2 games. and you're at risk probably to miss another game later on in the year.
Yep.
And it probably came from that Halloween party. But there you go. It's disgusting.
It's more so, it's not that we're telling Aaron, like, at least I'm not going to say, get the vaccine, it's the only solution, but more so I have a problem with how he went about it and how he kind of misled the media. And this isn't the first time Aaron in the media has had different opinions. And he also said, he didn't say he was vaccinated, but he said he's sort of vaccinated, which I don't know how you can be sort of vaccinated.
No,
you guys are actually insane. You guys are actually insane, and I think you just watch too much news, honestly. You listen to way too much news. But you can still contract COVID-19 with the vaccine.
That's
you
true.
can also give it to other people. What's
True.
your counter argument? Well, genius, I am talking about the NFL. And in the NFL, the protocol is if you have the vaccine, you only need to miss out on 3 days, quarantine, and have 2 negative tests in a 24-hour stretch. 3 days instead of 10. Missing 3 days, you can overcome it. 10, you're probably missing 2 games like Aaron Rodgers. That's the point. I don't care if he has the damn vaccine or not. Take it I don't care. But when it affects your teammates, you got to make a decision. And he made that decision, and now they're going to pay for it over the next 2 games.
Yep. We'll see what Aaron does after this. I mean, he understands now this isn't a game.
And he didn't follow protocol. He went to a Halloween party unvaccinated. And people around him thought he was. It's a joke.
Yeah.
He lied about it.
He was at
and
least
then he broke protocol.
truthful to his
As
friends.
the CEO of the Green Bay Packers. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see how Jordan Love does, seeing that all of the drama that was pre this COVID drama was about, him being drafted by the Packers, and that's what ticked Aaron off in the first place. So, honestly, I hope he balls out. So, is that what you guys are hoping for?
I'm honestly hoping he completely craps the bed so we can at least look at the Packers in the face and say, this is why you shouldn't have pissed off Aaron Rodgers. Because this is why I'm excited to see Jordan Love. I mean, we haven't really gotten a chance to see him a whole lot.
I'm not. I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Do you want him to do well, though?
Look, usually you get reports out of camp, preseason, whatever it may be, like, hey, we got something. I mean, you heard this when Rodgers took over for Favre before he ever threw a football. You heard it about Mahomes. Peter Schrager was famous for calling Patrick Mahomes one of the greatest quarterbacks to play before he ever played a snap. He said, this guy's going to change the league. People talk about it in camp. No one's talking about Jordan Love. And maybe that's Green Bay's media. That's just how they are. But I'm not expecting much from Love. I hope he balls out. Because if he does, well, then you're the Packers. You can make an easy decision. Trade him for a second-round pick like New England did with Jimmy Garoppolo, or keep him and move off of Aaron at the end of the year. But Aaron still has a lot to give, so depends on his commitment to the team in the future.
All right, you guys. Well, when we come back, we will be hitting on more Detroit Lions. Stick around for that. We will be back right after the break.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, we've got to talk about it with these two. What is a realistic timeline for a rebuild with this Detroit Lions team? Adam, you've said it time and time again. We're like 9 players away. How long is this going to take us to be successful?
Well, with a healthy roster and appropriate decisions made in the offseason, I think next year you're a 5 to 8 win football team. 8 being best case scenario, which I really doubt, but 5 being the bare minimum, which is really what I expected this year. So at least marginal improvement. Let's win 5, 6, 7 games next year.
Right.
Show that you can compete. Show that you have a game plan. Show that you have an identity. And if you do that, well, you have another 2 first-round picks, and your salary cap really opens up after that. And you go out and get your quarterback, or you get him the year prior. And then you're ready to make a move and go out and win 9, 10, 11 football games. And then by year 4, which is 2024, you're a team that should be competing for the division and likely winning it. That's your timeline. That's your timetable. But if you're not showing any improvement, if you're not showing any ability to really win against good football teams, not just compete, win. If you can't prove any of that, if you can't beat your own division rivals, well, you're back in the same cycle all over again. I think it's a 3.5, 4-year process. Really, because I thought it was 3 to begin with. But I got to give it another year because, unfortunately, the whole team is decimated by injuries. And that really gives Dan Campbell a pass this year. So next year, I'm going to expect what I expected year 1, 5 to 7 wins. Mm-hmm. And then year 2, 9 to 11. And then year 3, you got to be winning the division, really. Or at least getting really damn close. And if you can't, then I'm not sure what you've been doing for 4 years. That's my timeline.
I said 3 years, and you know what? I like your 4 years because this year is it's such a wash. But over the 3 years, you want improvements throughout the entire process. Like next year, I still believe you can go, 6-11, 7-10, or 8-9. That's the goal next year, and just be competitive every game. I know this year you've been competitive, but there's also been times where you've been also completely blown out. So there's got to be no in betweens. You got to be competitive, and even like the Panthers this year with Sam Darnold at quarterback, no Christian McCaffrey, they're still battling in these games. That's kind of what you expect out of the Lions.
I'm sorry, Jeff, but our chat is being really annoying right now. Guys, I am not a doctor. You shouldn't take medical advice from me. You should listen to me talk about sports. But geniuses, there's the CDC, and there's a ton of doctors that are putting all their time and effort into researching on this. And if you don't believe them, I can't help you. I can't tell you what to believe in. I don't know what to believe in anymore. I really don't. I can't help you. But if you want to be naive and you want to consider yourself a doctor or say that this person does this, I don't care. Do whatever you want. I'm not forcing you to do anything. But when you work in a situation where people around you get affected by your decisions, you don't have that free will decision without consequences. And here's Aaron Rodgers' consequences. He's missing the next 2 games. Great job, man. That's affecting your football team. And if you guys want to look at past anything outside of that, you're naive. That is the whole premise. Get over it. I like the vaccine. I don't care. I don't care what you think of the vaccine. I really don't. If you think it's really good, great. If you don't, great. That's for you to decide, not for me. Information's out there. Whether you want to ignore some of it and look at only what you like and what you don't like, that's on you. I don't care. But don't sit here in the chat and talk about all this BS just because you heard it on the news. If you still watch the news and get all your information from there, my friends, you are sadly misinformed. And if you don't watch the news at all, well, then you're just uninformed. So you kind of lose both ways. So stop this nonsense. Stop. Jesus Christ. This BS crap. Unbelievable. No one's telling you what to do. Get over yourselves. I'm not a doctor. You want to take a vaccine in your rear or your arm? I don't care. I don't care. Do whatever you want. We're talking about how this affects an NFL football team. And it does. And if I make a choice not to get the vaccine, I contract COVID, and I get everybody in this room off for 10 days, we don't have a show. I affect her check, I affect his check, I affect his paycheck, and I affect Fish's paycheck.
OH!
That's what happens. And that's what you guys need to consider. This isn't about what your personal beliefs. I don't care. This has nothing to do with that. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. Adam, the lines are hurting my mental health. My friend, they've been doing it to a lot of people, not just you, for 57 years. Jeff, what were we talking about? Lions timeline?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is like ridiculous. I don't get why people get so hung up about anything somewhat political. Relax. Relax. It's really not that serious. If you don't trust the top officials and doctors in America, be my guest. Don't. And if you do blindly, be my guest. Do. That's your choice. I can't help you. I can't help you either way. All I know is that there's a balance in the middle, and you should be super open to the middle. Don't be too far somewhere on either side. It's not good for you, trust me. That's the only advice I can give you. But anyways, Michael, I can look at your rash. We're out in Birmingham. Feel free to stop by the office anytime. Anyways, Jeff, timeline, I think we both agreed 3 years. But after this year, I mean, it's difficult, but you got to wait and see what Brad Holmes does in the offseason. I think minimum they improve. They have to improve in the offseason just from their draft capital. You're getting 2 starters basically in the first round next year, in this upcoming draft. So you already have 2 players walking in that are going to be pretty good. Whether you want to move off of Decker and Flowers, be my guest. I don't care what you do. But this is a 5 to 7 win football team next year, even with Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is god-awful. I still think you can win 3, 4, 5, 6 games with him. It's the NFL. Everybody wins a few games. It's not hard. It's like a standard. If you win less than 5, I mean, you're just really that bad.
Yeah.
And if the Lions are that bad, then they need better coaching. They need a better roster. And hopefully all of that is addressed in the offseason and they all get better. But it's a 3-4 year window. It just is.
Yeah, it's going to take all 4 of those first round picks the Lions have over the next 2 years to really add starters to both the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. And more importantly, I think for me to really believe in this rebuild, it's going to take some tough decisions. And next season, going into next season, if your offense is still this stagnant, Dan Campbell's going to have to make some tough decisions. And I get, it's hard because a lot of guys are friends or former friends or friends just how they get jobs. And especially Anthony Lynn and Dan Campbell, they have history together. But for too long, ownership and coaches, for that matter, have let mediocrity slide. And I think the thing with Dan Campbell is he's going to have to put his foot down and kind of make some hard decisions. Brad Holmes as well. If it's not working next year, the timeline is still 3 to 4 years, and if firing guys or someone taking the fall is going to speed that process up, then do it. So be it. So it's going to take hard decisions, but like I said, give them 3 years. You should gradually see improvements with your win total. This year you're probably going to win 1 to 3 games, if maybe 3.
Let's start with 1.
1 game.
Let's start with 1.
1 game, and the next year you're kind of hoping to go from 6 to 8 wins, and then the next year you should be competing for the division, or at least another 6 to 8 wins, and the next year competing for the division. It's got to be in the next 3 to 4 years. So we agree on that.
All right, fair enough. Kennedy, I have a question for you.
Okay. I don't like when you put me on the spot like this.
I know,
but
I'm sorry. All right, look. Lions are guaranteed $30.5 million towards Jared Goff next year. They don't have a choice. Trade him, cut him, doesn't matter.
Yep.
Nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is your quarterback next year.
That
Whether
sucks.
or not they take a flyer on a quarterback early or late in the upcoming draft is on them. But expect a quarterback this year or next year, for sure next year.
Mm-hmm.
Or the following season, excuse me. Not the upcoming draft, but the following draft. If you don't take a quarterback in this draft, you are for sure taking a quarterback with whatever pick you have in that following draft. And that's the reality. The team needs a quarterback to move on. They need a quarterback on a rookie deal, but there's nothing you can do next season because Goff is already committed on the books, $30.5 million.
Correct.
So get over it. You're going to be bad this year. You're going to be bad next year. But you'll be at least watchable next year. This year, it's god-awful. Next year, you'll be winning a few games. 3, 4, 5, 6 games. It'll be like, okay, like I see it. Now we just, we need a few more pieces. Now we need the quarterback. And once you get all that together, now you're like, oh, wow, 8, 9, 10 win team. And then as you get chemistry together, your coaching gets better, then you turn into an 11, 12 win team like the Cleveland Browns. That's how it works. That's the NFL formula, baby. I love you, Fish.
This is in the dog pound.
We got to go to break.
Oh, so you didn't have a question for me. Perfect.
I was trying, but Fish threw me off.
Okay. All right, you guys, coming up next, we're looking ahead to the next 4 Lions games. Will we see a win? I'm not sure. But first, our friends over at the Foaling Warehouse.
Guys, the Foaling Warehouse. I mean, we're doing a team outing in the next few weeks. I am so excited about it. Jeff is going to get to show off his astute arm. I mean, look at that form. Unbelievable. Folding Warehouse Company, guys. It's in Hamtramck. Visit anytime. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come by with family and friends. Have a good time. There's 2 ways to play. $10 unlimited open play. Stay the whole time, and we're open all day. Or a private lane reservation, which is probably what we're going to do. $120 up to 10 people for 2 hours. You get the whole lane to yourself. Nobody bother you. Have a good team environment. Everybody can get a long talk, have a good time. They have over 100 beers. They have their own $2 Mystic beer machine and multiple bars located in the facility. You can bring your own food or you can have it delivered. Be our guest. Come on, get your foal on. Check it out at foldingwarehouse.com.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Woodward Sports, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Happy Thursday. Almost to the end of the week. You can see the finish line. Just hang in there. Hopefully, the Lions will be hanging in there. Like I said, we're moving on to the next 4 games. We're going to talk about all of them. Adam said earlier in the show that there's still a 3 to 4 win team, which I was unaware of. Adam, are you sticking by that statement? You did. You called them a 3 to 4 win team.
I want to see you go through the 3 wins.
And I just was shocked. But anyway, okay, we'll start first. The next game,
Look,
we get a bye, so hopefully we win.
To be fair, preseason, before injuries, before everything escalated,
You called them that today. You said they're still a 3-4 win team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, that's...
No,
No. Jeff said they're a 1 to 3 win team. I said, let's start with 1, but... Look,
No, it was before that. It was multiple segments ago.
If there is a game to win in the next 4, you've got away to the Steelers, away to the Browns, home to the Bears, home to the Vikings. That's tricky.
Maybe the Bears, Thanksgiving. That's my...
Yeah, we said this last time.
No.
But
The Lions don't win on Thanksgiving.
I did say preseason, Dan Campbell's Super Bowl is Thanksgiving Day.
Yes.
Before we lost all these games, before all the injuries, this was his Super Bowl. And it was always going to be his Super Bowl because you don't want to send home...
But they were calling the Rams game the Super Bowl.
Because Lions fans are idiots. That's
I liked that game.
The Rams, that was just another game.
That was not just another game. That was a game you were fortunate not to get murdered in. Honestly.
For the Rams.
You stole 3 possessions, but I don't want to get into this. Guys.
Okay.
You're away to the Steelers. That's a tough matchup. Najee Harris likely runs all over you next week. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. Good luck guarding all these guys.
Najee, good luck stopping him.
As much as I dog on the Steelers, I don't think the Lions are good enough to beat them. The Browns, I think, is where it's at.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I think the Browns can be your first win. I'll tell you why. I think the Browns are a team that's going to be struggling for the rest of the year. Whether or not they make the playoffs, I think is it's up in the air. You don't know if Nick Chubb is ever going to be 100% for the remainder of the year. Baker doesn't look all that great. Go ahead.
I think they beat us with him at 80%. I mean, it's like kind of your argument when you throw on us.
They beat us
what
with
makes
Case
the
Keenum
Lions
for sure.
deservingly
You're
to beat
asking
the
me when
Browns.
I think they could win a game. I don't think they're... You want my opinion? I told you they could go 0-17, guys. I mean, chill out here. The point I'm making is you look at the next 4... Home to the Bears is the easy one, I think, for everyone to check off. Like, hey, come on, it's Thanksgiving. Let's win this game. But I don't think you're beating the Vikings. I don't think you're beating Browns or Steelers, but I think you can catch the Browns off. I really do. The Browns have shown they can be beaten. The Browns have shown they're a team that is turnover prone. Now, if Case Keenum starts, I think you lose that game easily. But if Baker starts, I think you have a chance. I do. I just do. Look, the team is going to suck. They're not going to be favored in any game this year.
Yeah, that's kind of
the reality.
The struggle.
So, like, you want me to call out when they're going to win? I don't know. I don't think they might not win a game till next year. Okay? I don't know. But what I do know is that in the next 4 games, you're away to Pittsburgh. That's difficult. Away to Cleveland.
I think
that is
away
difficult.
to Denver is actually, I think, they have a better chance of beating them than I think the Browns. I think away to Denver.
Oh, I'd agree with that. But Denver...
But then, should they even beat Denver? Is the argument? Like, probably
can
not.
they beat anybody? I think that's the question here.
My 2 wins. I'm sticking with 2 for me through the entirety of the schedule. Away to Denver, home with Thanksgiving.
Home to Chicago.
Yeah, that's the only 2 I
think those are probably the most fair ones you can give them.
I don't even think they'll beat the Falcons in what, week 15. I mean, you're asking me. Or
Falcons
week 16.
are a 4-4 football team.
That's what I'm saying. They're a good football team. Like I don't think they're beating it. Even if you bring up the mistakes, like you talk about the Eagles, we can go on and on about the mistakes.
Why are the Atlanta Falcons with a depleted secondary, not that great of a defense? Their star wide receiver out, doesn't play, mental health issues. They have a great tight end. What does sound familiar? They have a dynamic running back. Sound familiar? And their quarterback is kind of past it, and Matt Ryan, but they can win 4 games. Why? Their schedule's not as difficult. I will agree. Their schedule is not as difficult. I will say that. I'm just asking simple questions.
Something about
here.
being a competent offensive coordinator. I don't know.
It could be the offense. I don't know.
Because their defense, I don't even know if their defense could stop anybody. But
Who knows? I am a Michigan guy, Tony Pasta. I am a Michigan supporter, whether it's Michigan State, Michigan, Detroit Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, Tigers. I support the entire state. Those are my teams. Those are my
agree.
teams. I don't root for anybody outside the state.
Nope.
Moving on, there's one thing really to look forward to these next 2 weeks coming off the bye, though. Penei Sewell. If Taylor Decker isn't back yet, he gets the match.
He's back.
Well, he's activated off IR.
No, he's putting out tweets and Instagram that's like, I'm ready, let's go, boys. He's playing.
We'll see.
He's playing.
I'll hold you to it.
But
We'll
let's say,
see.
hypothetically,
I'll
if
put money on that
Hypothetically, he
he's
doesn't
playing.
play, or
he
he moves
doesn't.
to right tackle, you're getting a Penei Sewell, not Miles Garrett. You're getting a Penei Sewell, TJ Watt matchup, and then the following week, Penei Sewell, Miles Garrett. I love it. Challenge the rookie. I'm all for it. He may look good. He may look bad. I don't care.
No,
but that's your reality. I'm excited for it. I mean, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. You're getting your premier future left tackle against current premier edge rushers. I love it. I'm all for it. That's what I'm excited for.
Let me just say devil's advocate. We play devil's advocate. What if Taylor Decker comes back and Penei Sewell plays right tackle and he gets obliterated in these next couple games?
Well,
we're going to tear the lines apart.
Guys, okay, look. Let me just clarify because I agree to an extent. Penei Sewell should not be playing right tackle unless you drafted him to be a right tackle. Is that fair? Am I asking too much?
No, that's common sense.
Am
You're
I?
right.
Kennedy? Somebody? Fish?
No, you're
Am I
not.
asking too much?
No.
If you drafted Penei Sewell to be a right tackle, shouldn't he have been playing from the start at right? Stop this. Even with Decker injured, I don't care. If you want him developing and growing at the right, that's where he plays. But you have him at the left all year. You're 8 games in, you haven't won a game. It doesn't matter. You're in a rebuild. Move Decker to the right. I don't care if he gives you the best chance to win. That's not what you're doing right now. Right now, what your responsibility is as a Detroit organization, as a whole, for the Lions, is to improve individual players, your young talent. That way you can find out who's going to be with you 2-3 years from now when you're actually a good football team. Not, we're going to move Penei to the right. He struggles, then we look like idiots. Don't need that. And what do you get out of Decker at left tackle? His value is solidified. He's been a good left tackle for years. Nobody's questioning that. And if he goes to the right and he does well, he'll still have market value after June 1st this year.
Even if he plays poorly, everyone knows his natural position's on the left side. I'm sure someone will take him at his left. He's a top 10 left tackle. So, it doesn't matter how bad he plays on the right side. You know what his potential is on the left side. I'm sure someone will throw a flyer if you're really willing to trade him.
I just think it's stupid. Again, Tyrod Taylor, it took him getting shanked by a trainer.
Yeah.
For Anthony Lynn to name Justin Herbert, who won Rookie of the Year and set all offensive records, to start him at quarterback. Anthony Lynn comes to Detroit. Him and Dan Campbell sitting down. Yeah, Decker's the left tackle. We're moving this kid to right. Struggles all preseason at the right. Nobody thinks to move him back to left. And, of course, Taylor Decker gets injured, and he goes to left, and he dominates his first 2 games, struggles the next 3, and now the last 3, he's been really damn good. Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny how the people you want making competent decisions can't even do it? Somebody else or something, out of the blue needs to happen for them to even get something right that they're not even making the decision on. It's unbelievable. Keep the guy at left. Don't you dare.
Yeah, the universe is telling them. They're showing them right now how Penei Sewell's playing. Keep the man at left. So if 8 games in, you don't know.
Start Jared Goff at right tackle. I don't care. Just keep Penei Sewell. Keep Penei Sewell at left tackle. Let him continue to grow. He's got 8 games under his belt as a left tackle. Don't you dare go send him out for the remaining 9 at right. He looked awful in the preseason. He looks good. He looks competent.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy that can grow and develop into a top 3 left tackle in the NFL. Stop the nonsense. Stop trying to be smarter than everybody. You're not. Stop trying to be cavalier. Stop trying to pioneer the NFL. You can't. You're the Lions. Stop. You've got a left tackle. He's there for the next 12, 15 years potentially.
He's playing
Keep
damn
him
good.
there. And he's playing damn good. Leave him alone. Kennedy?
Adam. You good?
These next 4 games.
Yes.
I want your opinion.
Ugh. Okay.
Away to Steelers, away to Cleveland, home to Bears, home to Vikings. The Bears is a Thanksgiving game. 1, are you attending any of the games? And 2, which ones do they win, if any?
I might be attending Thanksgiving. My dad and I do that occasionally. I don't know if he wants to go or not. So we shall see. I'm assuming the tickets might be pretty cheap. Do we know who the musical guest is yet? Do they normally announce it like the week before?
I don't know yet. Maybe it's been announced, but I don't know.
The best Thanksgiving game of my life was when Nickelback was in town.
Oh,
and
Nickelback.
they just sucked it up. And listen, Fish and I were at the game this past week, and the boos were pretty loud, but I've never heard louder
Who are we
boos
sitting by, Kennedy Broadwell?
in Ford Field than for Nickelback. It was pretty iconic. So that was a good game. Hoping something like that happens again. Don't know who they could bring in that would get that loud of boos, but it was pretty awesome.
No, honestly, if we lose Thanksgiving, whoever's performing's getting booed. It does not matter who it is. It's gonna be sad.
But anyway, Lions versus Steelers. I think when I did my like preseason stuff, I think I said they would win that game. But like you said, Adam, that's kind of now a toss-up. I think the Steelers win that game. Browns, I don't think we win. I know you think we could win there, but I think Kevin Stefanski's too good.
They always say any given Sunday, right?
Yes.
A narrative. You lose to Pittsburgh, you're 0-9. You really want to be 0-10?
Oh,
and I'm not. It's likely you're probably going to lose to Cleveland. They're a way better team than you. But you got to do something, guys.
Yeah.
The bad teams in the NFL win 5 games. The bad teams. You can't even win one? Jesus Christ.
Adam, I would take your word if I didn't already say last week, are you really going to be 0-8? You're going to lose to the Eagles and be 0-8 at home?
Yeah,
and
that was my
0-8.
first win prediction, and
so
here we are.
I'm done. I'm checked out. I'm handing in my card for a win this year. Listen, I'm just going to wait and see. I got 2 wins. 2 of my last picks. Please, Jared Goff, if you're listening to this show, and you understand how much I crap on you, I'll take it back. All right, please just get me a win. You're welcome at home on Thanksgiving. Get a win. Eat a turkey leg. You can eat a big old turkey leg. Get your first win of the season.
I think it'd be befitting. I think you start the season 0-10, and then Dan Campbell makes you feel really good, gives you a win on Thanksgiving, and you're just super optimistic, and everybody says, we're back, baby. I think that's exactly how the Lions work out this year. Start 0-10, and then they win their first game against Chicago.
This is the same Adam, everyone, that says, who are we to say we can beat the Bears?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, who are we? Any Lions fan that is like circling any game on the calendar saying, oh, we can beat that team, my friends, reality check, everybody on that schedule looks at you and laughs when they see you on the schedule.
Browns. They're probably like, get a win right there.
So that's what I mean by it. Like, don't call, oh, they're the Bears. You're the Lions. Bears have been to a Super Bowl. They've been to multiple NFC championship games. They've won playoff games. They've won divisions. The hell have you done? Same thing, argument with Michigan fans. Little brother, shut the hell up. They've won 10 of the last 14. In that stretch, they've won the Big Ten. They've been to a college football playoff. What the hell have you done? Enough. And 10 of the last 14, if I'm correct, hasn't Jim Harbaugh won 3 of those 4 games that they've won in the last 14 years? Huh.
But
Michigan fans, I hold a very special place in my heart for Michigan fans. They're somewhere around here next to Lions fans. And, every time my heart beats, my middle fingers just agitate.
Oh, my gosh.
Just ready to throw them up to both fan bases.
But as I was saying, not
Ridiculous.
confident in any of these next 4 games. We shouldn't be confident in any game this season ever. So, but, I feel bad saying that because I really am a Lions fan, but I need this bye week, and then maybe I'll feel a little bit more spirited. I need this bye week just as bad as the team does, I think. So that's where I'm at with everything. Coming up next, we will talk Dan Campbell. He's getting called out by national media. We'll get into all of that. But first, Jeff, where do you get your hair done?
Well, listen, Lady Jane's, they'll take care of you. You come in, they're open 7 days a week, open 10 to 8. You get to walk into this beautiful place anywhere near you. There's tons of locations. You get to sit in a chair, watch your favorite sports teams on the televisions, and when you leave, you're looking handsome and clean. Stop by Lady Jane's 7 days a week, open 10 to 8. Walk in anytime because they are wicked awesome.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. As promised, DC on the national hot seat. He's been called out a few times by a couple different publications now, and a lot of people are just upset that he is not holding a flame to my man, Jim Caldwell, in his records, his 9-7s. Yes, 9-7s. I have to do the math now with the 17-game season. But, you know, we were supposed to be getting better and better, and now people are like, man, we really did not appreciate the Jim Caldwell era.
No, we don't need to appreciate the Jim Caldwell.
Yes, we do.
No, the hell we don't.
You can appreciate
Let's backtrack.
it. Come on.
You can
Come on.
appreciate the first season. The 3 seasons following
The 2
were
playoff
mediocre.
appearances. All right, at least you
Mediocre.
appreciate that.
They were mediocre.
Okay, call a playoff appearance mediocre. Like that's
Guys, this is what you just don't understand how winning works. Honestly,
I
That's why-
understand it.
No, because sneaking into the playoffs, losing 5 of your
is
last
a
7
winning
games.
season.
No, just no. Look,
Do the math.
look, guys. Let's go back. Jim Caldwell, final season goes 9-7, 8 of which are fourth quarter comebacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The team didn't look all that great.
No.
They looked great late in the fourth quarter. The defense would kind of keep them in the games. Stafford would ball out in the fourth, lead them on a comeback drive, and they would win the games. All right, whatever. It was great. Whatever you guys want to say. What was forget hindsight for 1 second. Bear with me, everybody. Forget hindsight. What was the intention of the Matt Patricia hire, Jeff? What was the intention?
To fix.
Not the result. Not the
to
result,
take
but the
this
intention.
team
to the next level. Correct? That
Which
was
they
the
are not.
intention. That was
Yeah.
the intention of the GM, the front office, the organization, the ownership, and, of course, now the head coach that was named, who was Matt Patricia. Okay? He came in and took an average team and made them beyond below average. He took them to the dumpster. He took them to the absolute floor. He did such a horrible job. Quinn did an absolute horrible job. And they totally set back the franchise for 5 years. That's what they did. That's what they're responsible for, not Dan Campbell. He should not be on the hot seat. He can go 0-17. He shouldn't be on the hot seat. Next year, if he wins only 2 games, damn it, he should be on the hot seat. Especially if the team is healthy for the whole year. But if you go out and win 5, 6, 7 games, you show improvement next year, no, he should not be on the hot seat. Give him time to acclimate with the team and develop the same way you gave Caldwell. Caldwell walked in, took over a really damn good roster, won 11 games with it, blew the division, by the way, then went 7-9, then went 9-7, 9-7, mediocre, and all Detroit fans, oh my God, Jim Caldwell, oh my God, you were so good. I missed you. You're the best we ever had because we've never had anything because we've sucked for 60 years. Get over yourselves. Caldwell was never special. If he was special, he would have delivered you a damn division. He wouldn't have started 6-2 and blown the season. He wouldn't have had a division lead, a 2-3 game division lead late into the year. Aaron Rodgers is injured, and then they collapse the rest of the way, and of course the Packers win the division. That doesn't happen with a great head coach. He's not great. He was average. That's why he's never had a job since, and don't bring up the health issues. That came out 2 years after the fact. So enough is enough. Patricia and Quinn set the franchise back 5 years. You're dealing with that problem now. Campbell should not be on the hot seat, even though I disagree with a lot of the things he does, until he has an adequate roster where you can judge him. I cannot judge him with this roster. It would be very unfair and cynical of me to do that. I refuse to do that. I am allowed to criticize him week to week for the decisions that he makes, absolutely, but I cannot judge his overall head coaching ability probably up until Thanksgiving of next year, which is what I always tell you guys. By then, I will have a good idea if he's a good coach or not. Am I missing something? But stop with the nonsense of he's on the hot seat, Caldwell, bring Caldwell back. Oh my God, bring Caldwell. Shut the hell up. You don't bring Caldwell back. Why? Why? He can't do anything special with this roster either.
No, yeah, that's ridiculous. Don't bring Caldwell back. I think my point is I understand what Caldwell was. He was a guy that wasn't going to take us to the promised land, and obviously you saw what he was able to do the last season, 2 seasons, 9-7, 9-7. It's more so just, I mean, people need to stop overreacting. Just appreciate the man. I mean, you can say about his flaws being a head coach, clock management issues, and starting 6-2, throwing the season, but as Lions fans, I think we don't understand how unlucky. Okay, listen, the franchise for the last 50 years has been below poverty level. You haven't won a playoff game since '91, and now you have a guy who's taken you there 2 years. And I get it. The guy who you hired after him.
Can we be fair? I will say Jim Caldwell was a good coach. He was good. He was not special. He was not great.
Yeah.
And if he was so great and so special,
that's what I'm
saying. He would have
saying.
done a job after the fact. But let's move on. Let's be real here. Some of the comments I actually want to read, I think it's very important. Jim Caldwell's demise or downfall was not getting a good OC. I disagree. His downfall was he would always blame his quarterback who now is out in LA looking like an MVP candidate and potentially on a Super Bowl roster. That's your quarterback. That's your quarterback. Jim Caldwell threw this guy under the bus a multitude of times. And if you're a 9-7 team, is it possible for you to be a player away? No, the Lions weren't just a player away. They were a head coach away. The Lions never surrounded Stafford with a GM that was great and a head coach that was great. What does Los Angeles have that's so special? They have Les Snead, Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford. Done deal. Done deal. That's all they need. That's all you need. To win consistently and at the highest level, you need to have the GM, you need to have the head coach, you need to have the quarterback. If you have 2 out of the 3, you can manage and you can win still, but it makes it difficult. Caldwell never gave you special guys. He never gave you a significant advantage week to week, just like Dan Campbell does it right now. So what the hell are you doing? Enough. I don't want to hear about Caldwell. I just don't. He was not your best coach. He never delivered you anything. He delivered you embarrassing playoff performances, and he delivered you season collapses after the second half. Second half of the season, the Lions became a dumpster fire. And what was his record against winning teams? Wait, wasn't it like 4-23? Wait, you're telling me a good coach and a great special coach couldn't beat the good teams? Shut up. Just stop it. Matt LaFleur has walked in and in one season accomplished more than half the entire organization has. It's unbelievable. If he was that great, you would have accomplished something great. A division title would have been great, in my opinion. Win the division, and I'll take you seriously. Don't talk to me about just a playoff win. Win the division. Show that you can be the alpha team in your division over a 16, now 17 game schedule. He couldn't do it. His teams would collapse. They would lose to the good teams, and then they would lose to the bad teams later on in the year, and it would cost them. That's the reality. That was the Jim Caldwell era. Don't talk to me. Just don't. Anybody?
I mean, listen, I don't really disagree with anything you're saying. It's just more so...
Is it a respect thing? Do people feel like I'm not giving him enough respect? Respect for what? What did he accomplish? He was a very good. He was very, very good year one, and he was mediocre the following 3 years. And he was carried by a quarterback that, let's be honest, you all know what he's capable of. So don't sit here and tell me that, oh, well, Stafford wasn't good either. Yeah, look what he's doing now. Highest passer rating in the NFL. 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Okay.
Shut up. Unbelievable. No perspective, no context here. Everything is, oh, Jim Caldwell.
I'll give you I'll give you context. So when it comes to the national media, they're not calling for, oh, we want another Caldwell-like season. They're saying, so I'll read the tweet. Steve Wilkes got fired after 1 season for going 3-13 with the Cardinals. Jim Caldwell was 36-30 with the Lions and led them to 2 of their 3 postseason appearances since 2000.
Steve Wilkes, didn't Cliff Kingsbury replace him? Am I correct?
I have no idea. You Google it. But what they're saying is because these things happen, Dan Campbell, who is now 0-8, should be on the hot seat, is the argument.
Oh, my God. Okay. No, that's a horrible argument. Let's start with Arizona. That is the worst example. I am so glad whoever the idiot that wrote that article used Arizona as an example. Because you, my friend, are a goddamn idiot. That Arizona GM is that same GM that replaced Wilkes with Cliff Kingsbury, made the mistake of drafting Josh Rosen, admitted his mistake, took Kyler Murray. Now they're a playoff team. Shut the hell up. Jim Caldwell, no. It's just, oh my goodness. People don't understand the Caldwell era at all. They just look at the overall record and think it was all fun and roses and beautiful colors. Oh my God. No, that's not what it was. It was a lot of mediocre play. You could barely beat average teams. You could never beat the good teams. That was the Jim Caldwell era. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, he's the best coach we ever had. Shut up. Please.
Can you say Jim Bob Cooter in that voice?
Jim Bob Cooter, I blame you and Matthew Stafford because I'm not responsible. I'm not the head. Shut the hell up. I respect Jim Caldwell as a person. He was a good human being. But last I checked, you were the same head coach that failed to go for it on 4th and inches. Last I checked, teams tongue twister. Teams convert over 75% of the time on 4th and inches. And you were in Dallas territory, and you didn't do it. You punted it, they went down and scored, and you got the ball back with 5 minutes, and you still couldn't do anything with it. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I wish there was like an audience arena here of all Detroit Lions fans, and I would just pull out 2 middle fingers to every single one of them that thought Jim Caldwell was a great coach, because he wasn't. He was good year 1 because of Jim Schwartz's roster. He's the one who pitched and lobbied for Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald. And that's what set the franchise backward, and that's why they were mediocre the 3 years following. Do not talk to me about Jim Caldwell, and don't tell me that Dan Campbell should be on the hot seat because, Steve Wilkes got fired after 3-13? Shut the hell up. 2 different situations.
Adam, what do you say to DJ that is saying we're wasting picks on the O-line, offensive lineman in Lions jersey sucks?
What?
He's mad that we use our picks on
You
O-line.
mean Penei Sewell?
Ask DJ.
Well, okay, if you don't draft Penei Sewell, you probably take Parsons or Patrick Surtain. Both are good players. I think what they did with Sewell is correct, as long as he turns out to be a very good offensive lineman. I think the Cleveland model is good. Have a good O-line build around it. Kevin Stefanski walks in, takes over a horrible Freddie Kitchens team, turns them into an 11-win franchise. They go to the playoffs, win a playoff game, coach of the year. End of story. I think building in the trenches is a good idea. I don't see anything wrong with it. They do need a quarterback, though. They do need a quarterback. And that's the key component here. And when Campbell gets the quarterback and he's still losing games and the quarterback isn't looking good under him, then you fire him. And then you bring in the guy that takes the team to the next level. But Dan Campbell, it's too early for me to really give a fair assessment. I'm going to wait till next Thanksgiving, and I will tell you guys everything I think of him. And I'll be very honest and blunt. And if it's a negative thing, I'm going to be honest about it. And if it's a positive thing, I will be very honest about it. I don't care. I'm going to tell you how it is every single day. And never forget, I love this comment. Never forget. Always remember, Ebron over Donald. Never forget that. That was Jim freaking Caldwell. Enough. Enough. I'm out of breath. I'm sorry.
On that note, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we will be hitting on everything that happened right before the trade deadline. You guys stick around for that. But first, our friends over at Gypsy Vodka.
Guys, Gypsy Vodka, new sponsor here at the Woodward Sports Network. They were out with us at our Michigan State game, and the broadcast that we did live at the Hopcat in East Lansing was a great time. The owners are twin brothers, Mike and Adam, great guys, Michigan State alumni as well. So if you're a Michigan fan, feel free to buy their bottles, tag them on social media, and give them some crap about it. Try a bottle today and drink responsibly. That's Gypsy Vodka. Enjoy, have fun with it. If you like vodka with cranberry, straight, however you like it, Gypsy Vodka, I'd recommend you try and get available in most stores. Guys, again, drink responsibly.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
All right, guys, we have trade deadline Tinder coming up. But before we do, I got to address something in the chat. Nick, shut the hell up, my friend. And I say that in the most polite, honest way. If they never fired Caldwell, they would have a playoff win or probably be better by now. Are you serious? Are you serious? Or is that just a troll comment? I hope you're just trolling and you don't mean that. Because if you mean that, I am concerned for you. I really am. I'm not sure how you think Jim Caldwell would have ever delivered you a playoff win. He couldn't do it in the 4 years he was here. He threw away 2 divisions. You started 5-2, finished 7-9. Don't talk to me about Jim Caldwell. Just don't. Kennedy, I'm waiting for you.
Okay, yay. We're going to play Tinder again. So we have our swipe right, swipe left, and super like. If you guys remember the super like, you can only use one, just like you can on real Tinder, I think. Maybe that's Hinge. I don't know. One of the dating apps. But we're going to start all the way back October 25th. The Jets acquire quarterback Joe Flacco from the Eagles for a conditional 6th-round pick.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like Joe Flacco.
I don't mind it.
I don't like Joe Flacco at all. I have a personal vendetta against him. I lost a significant bet when he made the Super Bowl run with the Baltimore Ravens. I have never forgiven him since. He shouldn't have a job in the NFL. Joe Flacco, it was a bad decision. I'm glad Mark White is dominating for the New York Jets.
It's actually Mike.
Is it Mike?
You got it.
Whoever you are, Mike. I don't care what
it's
you're
Mike White.
Do not let Joe Flacco see the field. For my sake, please and thank you.
All right, Adam, actually, I kind of thought about this too deep. I swiped right because it's a veteran for Zach Wilson. Anything to fix this man's turnover ability. I mean, the guy throws interceptions left and right, so you know what? I like it.
All right. October 27th, the Texans trade running back Mark Ingram to the Saints for an undisclosed late-round draft pick compensation.
I like it.
This gets my super like. This was the steal of the deadline. Mark Ingram's first game back, over 60 yards rushing, a ton of carries, takes the load out and the pressure off of Alvin Kamara. It really balances their backfield. They released him, excuse me. They released Latavius Murray going into the year. They now bring in Mark Ingram. Now Taysom Hill's your starting quarterback with Ingram and Alvin Kamara. It really poses a lot of dynamic threats for the opposing defenses. I love this. I love this move. Good on the Saints. I couldn't be more happy about it. Mark Ingram, I'm glad he's back in New Orleans. And fun fact, he is very, very close of breaking the all-time rushing record for total career yards for a New Orleans Saints running back. I believe he'll pass Deuce McAllister this year if he continues to stay healthy and rush the football. So that's my super like.
Okay. Jeff, you swiped right, didn't you?
I did. I liked it. Like Adam, everything Adam just said. I mean, they're acquiring a guy who could take the load off of Alvin Kamara, and they've tried to kind of supplement that running back 2 spot all year, and it just hasn't been working. So now you got a guy in Mark Ingram for a late draft pick who can help you out right away. And now they don't have Jameis Winston no more, so they're going to need to run the ball more. So he'll benefit them.
All right, November 1st, the Broncos trade outside linebacker Von Miller to the Rams for a 2022 second-round pick and a 2022 third-round pick. Oh, Jeff and I both gave it our super likes.
So you guys gave it super likes, if I may. I get why you did it, but hear me out. They made this deal because they just need Von Miller to get 1 or maybe 2 sacks in the postseason. It's not about his regular season contributions. So I think this is just a big picture thing. If he can make a third down, third and long sack, third and short sack come playoff time in the third, fourth quarter, they get their money back on it and everything they traded away. That's all they're looking for out of Von Miller. But I see why you guys gave it a super like. It's a great move. It is.
With the attention he brings to any I mean, you talk about 1 to 2 sacks. He might not even be that effective come the regular season, but just taking the pressure off Aaron Donald and just keeping the quarterback aware that he is there. And Von Miller's on the field and he's going to come after you. So I like him. They're going all in on their quarterback, and I'm super liking any organization that does that. So kudos to them.
I love our chat. Comparing Wayne Fonts to Jim Caldwell. Fonts, a division winner multiple times, multiple playoff appearances, a playoff, I believe the NFC Championship appearance in 91, correct? Am I correct? And then they won the division in 94? So
wasn't born yet.
Yeah, well, you know what? Whatever. It's all good. I'll let chat take care of chat.
All right.
No problem.
November 2nd, the Chiefs acquired defensive end / outside linebacker Melvin Ingram from the Steelers in exchange for a 2022 6th-round draft pick.
I don't like it. I think the Chiefs.
I didn't mind it.
It's super desperate. Although they only gave up a 6th-round pick, I just don't like it. It tells you where the Chiefs are.
Yeah.
And I don't think people are caught up with it yet. I think the Chiefs are just an average team right now. They're not special.
Yeah.
They have special talent, but they're not a special team.
It's such a bummer to watch right now.
It's really a bummer, but it's the reality. Guys, if you're a Chiefs fan, appreciate the last 3 years. You had 3 AFC championship appearances in a row. You won 2 of them, and you won a Super Bowl, lost a Super Bowl. That is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Enjoy it. And they'll be back. They have Patrick Mahomes. They'll be just fine. Him and Andy Reid, they will be just fine.
Yeah, he's 32 years old. Melvin Ingram, obviously, what does he have, like 500 sacks in his career? He has a ton of sacks, but overall, it ain't going to fly, man. I mean, he has 1 sack this year. He hasn't been really effective for the Steelers, and now they're acquiring him for a late pick, yes, but at the same time, what is he going to do for the Chiefs right now? He's going to help out Chris Jones, but he's not going to be. He's not going to solve all their problems on defense. They still can't stop a single.
They're 4 or 5 players away on defense. It's really bad.
A lot more players.
One addition kind of helps, but I didn't love it. So I'm swiping left on it.
Even if you got 50 sacks in your career, you're still. I mean, you're 32 years old.
Yeah.
So it's time's done.
It's a desperate pick.
All right, November 2nd, 49ers acquire 2019 5th-round pick D.E. Charles. Someone help me with this last name.
Aminu,
from
probably.
the Texans in exchange for a 2023 6th-round pick. Yeah.
I just don't know.
I
don't know enough about the kid. I think it's just a depth. It's a depth move by the Niners. They're actually solid at the D-line. I think this is just a depth play. So
yeah.
I mean, if it works for them, San Francisco fans out there
us.
can be happy about it. Me, I'm indifferent. So
yeah.
No answer on that.
Okay.
I would close the app. If
app.
I have to swipe. Just close the app.
Look at the profile a little longer. November 2nd, the Chiefs trade guard Laurent Duvernay-Tardif to the Jets for tight end Dan Brown.
I like this move slightly. I think
this
Travis
is the doctor.
Kelce.
Mine was
I
upside
think
down.
Travis Kelce's getting keyed on extremely hard.
Yep.
Teams are playing with 2 high safeties now because there's no threat from the Chiefs to run the football. I like it. He's a blocking tight end. I think it'll be good for them. We'll see how they can expand and really get their playmakers out in open space.
Yeah, this is, listen, I credit, his name's Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. He's the Canadian doctor who left. He was in the NFL season last year because he went and fought COVID. So, I give this guy credit. But at the same time, Chiefs making business moves, man. I mean, they need a tight end. They need you saw what Travis Kelce, he was absolutely shut down versus the New York Giants, and part of that was because of how much attention he brings to any defense he's going up against. So, kudos to them. Good move for them, bringing in depth. So.
All right, and our last trade of the deadline, the Broncos trade cornerback Kerry Vincent Jr. to the Eagles for a 2022 6th-round pick. Unnecessary. You already have Darius Slay. Why are you getting another corner?
Because the Eagles need secondary help, and Darius Slay can't do everything by himself.
He can.
I like it. I thought it was good, and the Broncos, obviously, an emerging Patrick Surtain Jr., or the second, I should say. He's been playing phenomenal. So the Broncos are fine. They're trading away some pieces. They're collecting draft capital. They know they're a quarterback away, and they're probably a head coach away as well.
And you know what? Screw okay, Liz, I shouldn't say this, but screw Trinity Benson, all right? The Lions should be getting in deals like this. Kerry Vincent Jr., young corner. He was really good at LSU. Like, these are the young guys you got to take flyers on, especially in your secondary. So I like it. I mean, I didn't get to hold up a sign, but you know what? We'll do swipe right. Good for the Eagles, bringing in corner depth. I mean, he'll even if he's trash, he's going to help anybody. So at least he'll get an opportunity to show what he can do. And that's what all the Eagles need, man. Bring in depth. See what they can do. So I don't have a problem with it.
All right, you guys. Well, while we're talking about the trade deadline, are you guys happy that the Lions stayed put, that they didn't get anybody, or
I don't think they could.
Yeah, they could.
They
I just don't. With
anything.
$2 million in cap, how you'd have to maneuver, how you'd have to set back the money, it's just not worth it. This is a bad roster.
Bless.
Excuse me. It's a bad roster. You're going to get the first overall pick, likely. Just accept it. Come draft time, take the defensive end Thibodeau. You go number 1 overall. You follow it up with that. You probably follow it up with a secondary player late in the first round, or you take a flyer on a quarterback. Whatever Brad Holmes buys into, I have to shut up and support it this year. I just do. It's too early for me to judge him, so I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he takes a quarterback in the first round, late or second round, third, fourth round, regardless, I think he'll end up doing it. Whether or not he's going to reach for a Carson Strong, a Malik Willis, we'll see if they're even available. A lot of teams, almost 10 teams in the NFL need quarterbacks, so this is probably going to be the year where teams are reaching, and there's going to be guys taken pretty high that in most draft classes probably don't go top 10, top 12.
I don't have a problem with the Lions not making moves. I mean, people who say, why aren't the Lions making moves, don't understand the concept of an actual rebuild. Like, the Lions are in a position right now, $2 million in cap space. They have all the guys they need right now, unless they add, they're going to add guys, when the draft comes. free agency. But right now, who are you getting? I mean, I have a problem with the Trinity Benson deal, but you already shanked that. That's over. You messed that deal up. Move on. I don't think they make a move for the rest of the season unless, there is a young stud, someone you could take a flyer on. But I don't see him making any more moves because, I mean, if you look at the Lions right now in the position they're in, they don't need to. Lose as many games as you can, get the highest first-round pick you can, and take the best player and start from there. We'll see in the free agency if they make moves, or the draft, around the draft, night of the draft, they can make moves, or, in the next season. But I'm fine with it,
I
man.
can't believe I haven't brought this up.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. Samuel Fisher, close your door. We need to talk.
Oh, no.
Sam? Fish?
Yes,
I don't
sir.
like that you're calling
Yes,
him
sir.
Sam.
Fisher.
Yes, sir.
Sam Fisher.
Yes, sir.
Buddy,
Okay.
the Lions have now lost 8 games.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
10 wins is no longer possible.
You
Yeah.
already said 9 and 8.
He already said 9 and 8.
I know. What are we going to do about this? The 10-7 limo has officially crashed, fallen off the highway. It's
Fish
burnt
needs to
to
get
rubble.
the tattoo.
Well, I'm still in the trunk.
Are you and Art
so-
getting the tattoo? I need to know.
No, I'm
Why?
not. I wasn't in the agreement.
I'm gonna force you to get a tattoo.
Agreement.
You're gonna get my face tattooed with 10-7 limo around it on your leg.
Okay, no.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I can tell you, really.
God damn it.
Fish, you're going to have to get a tramp stamp with Adam's face.
Oh, I like a
that
tramp
would be awesome.
stamp.
Fish,
What do you... I need
please,
your thoughts.
yes or no?
No.
Was there a dollar figure I could pay you to do it?
No.
$10,000.
Everything in the swear jar.
$1.
$1.
It's okay. We'll come
It'll
back at a
get
later
racked
date.
up.
We'll come back at a
Fish,
later
if
date.
I could bring
Fish's
back
tattoo
Jim
fund.
Caldwell, would you do it?
No.
Ooh.
All right, good.
You know
He
what?
could
Fish
have
has
gotten
some
you to
Don't hit
10
him
and
with
7,
I
though,
like
Fish.
it. I like it, Fish. All right, we gotta head to break.
All right, we'll head to break. All right, you guys. Coming up next, we will preview Thursday Night Football for you guys. Colts taking on the Jets. We'll tell you all about it when we come back.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. You guys, Colts sitting at 2-5, taking on the Jets, sitting on at 3-5. Crinkle that louder, por favor. Don't throw things at me. Okay, boys, I know you've got some fantasy beef going on tonight as well, so preview this game for me.
All right, well, it's going to be one-sided. I think the Colts win pretty decisively. They have no Zach Wilson, of course. They're in Indianapolis. Carson Wentz has been on a tear. I think they get the win pretty convincingly, and hopefully they do because I have the Colts defense tonight against Mr. Adam Baydoun over there across the desk for me, and I'm hoping they absolutely obliterate. They probably put 10 to 15 points up. I'll be happy. And he also, Adam, you just mentioned it. You have him in another league.
In my big money league, I have the Colts defense starting tonight, and I have Michael Pittman.
So we're
I have
Colts fans tonight.
Yeah, I have no problem if the Colts absolutely go off and the defense scores a few touchdowns. I don't mind because I think my team can still beat you even if your defense goes off. 7-1 for a reason. But I got to be fair to Jeff. He's 6-2.
Yeah.
And I think you have me by 15 points for most points scored in the league.
Yeah.
So it's pretty close.
It's neck and neck.
I think me and Jeff have the two best teams in our league. Obviously, our record shows it, but regardless, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight's game. Actually, I think it's a really good game.
Yeah.
We're gonna learn a lot about Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is this is a must-win for Indy. If they want to have any shot at having a meaningful season, to be a 9-10 win team, you got to win this game. You can't afford to drop this game after you dropped an overtime loss to, let's be honest, a Tennessee Titans team you should have beat. You were up 14 on them in the first quarter. I mean, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. It's not all on Wentz, but the defense has to show up today, and so does Carson Wentz. I'm looking forward to it. Kennedy, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Thursday Night Football, typically this year, has been a great watch.
Yes.
So, who do you play in fantasy this week? I believe it's Alex Mayer, correct?
It is Alex Mayer. Screw you, Mayer.
Al May.
Al May, everyone.
What's your record, Kennedy?
Why? Why are you asking me my record?
It's okay. What are you, 4-4? 3-5? It's okay.
Anyway, but I'm going to beat Al May because he has Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
He just traded him.
Yeah, for Kirk Cousins. I'm not shook. I still have this. Because Patty Mahomes is now going up against Rodgers' list team.
Well, I mean, look, I'm all for it, but I think the matchup of the week is me versus Jeff. 7-1
That's
versus
the prime
6-2.
time. That's the prime time.
That's the Sunday Night Football prime time matchup. I'm really excited about it.
Don't you have Josh Allen against
I do.
Jacksonville? Oh,
I do.
God, I'm shivering.
You're done.
I'm shivering.
He's
in my
running
boots.
for 3 touchdowns.
Yes.
He's
He
running
is.
for 3 and throwing for 4. And you're toast.
I'm toast.
You're
I got
toast.
Stafford, but that ain't gonna
Honestly,
help.
this league makes no sense. You know, we're having fun with it. Obviously, it's the Woodward Sports Fantasy League, but
Maz won't trade me AP.
Maz won't trade anybody
Why?
because he's Maz.
He's so annoying.
But this league makes no sense to me. How do I end up with a team where I have first round Tyreek Hill, second round Najee Harris, third round Josh Allen,
Wait,
fourth,
second round Najee Harris?
Yeah, he fell to me. I had the late pick.
Oh,
So I got
That's because I
back-to-back.
took Marvin Jones.
I got you.
Yeah, so I got Tyreek Hill and then Najee. Then I got CeeDee Lamb and then I got Josh Allen. You guys are a bunch of idiots that work here, honestly. Like, how that's my team is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Easy with the excuses. I forgot about this league once NBA gambling started. I know, buddy.
No, yeah, okay.
I will say this though too. I had Calvin Ridley. You know what? I'm gonna come out on a limb and say this. All right, Justin, our graphics guy, and Fish, both of their teams.
They're balling out.
Fish and Justin finessed.
They finessed me.
They finessed Jeff.
They
the trade of the year so far. Go ahead and explain it.
Okay, so Justin approached me and he said, "Listen, I'm a Chargers fan, at least a Justin Herbert fan, and I want to get his wide receiver. You have
Justin
Keenan Allen.
loves the Chargers.
You have Keenan Allen. I have Calvin Ridley. This is This is beginning of the season, by the way. Don't yell at me in the chat right now. And I looked at it and I said, you know what? I could have possibly Devontae Adams and Calvin Ridley on my team with Matthew Stafford. It sounds great, doesn't it? So I'm like, yeah, I'll trade you. I'll give you Keenan Allen. You can have the connection with Justin Herbert. You know, Justin's my boy. I get Calvin Ridley, and Calvin Ridley, you know, he's going through some problems right now. He's not going to play. He's not going to play. And I took an L on that trade, and I took a fat L. And you know what? If I had Keenan Allen starting this week, Adam, I'd be even more cockier. But
yeah.
I think I have Adam Thielen instead of him starting.
Thielen's a good
He's
option.
good, but you know what?
Regardless,
it was weird, man.
I want to address something in the chat. We're wasting picks on the quarterback is still getting sacked, so addressing Penei Sewell getting drafted. My friend, Jared Goff is not releasing the football.
No, he holds on.
He's not reading the field. He is causing the pressure more than the line is. He's not releasing the ball quick enough. He's not making the reads quick enough. That's why. What do you expect the offensive line to hold strong for 4, 5, 6 seconds? As a quarterback, you're taught to release the ball within 3 seconds. Jared Goff can't do it.
No.
He can't see the field right now. He lacks all confidence. The O-line is doing well. The O-line is fine, and that's with injuries. Jackson and Sewell have looked really good the past few weeks. What the hell do you want more? It's unbelievable. It's like you look at the team, it's like, oh, Jared Goff is getting sacked. Jared Goff is getting sacked. It must be the offensive line's fault. No, it's the quarterback who won't release the ball. It's the guy who's unathletic that can't escape pocket pressure. That's the guy. That's whose fault it is. Stop the nonsense. Help me, Jeff. It's unbelievable.
No, it's spot on. Like, you look at quarterbacks around the league, you can have a bad offensive line. It's going to affect you. But if you're holding on to the football, it's going to affect you even more, and it's going to make your offensive line look even worse. So, to your credit, I mean, last year, there's a reason why he leads. He's second to Jameis Winston in turnovers. That's fumbles too. That's getting sacked and losing the football, and that was happening in LA, and now it's happening in Detroit. If it carries over to both cities, it's not the offensive lines of both teams. It's Jared Goff. The problem's within him. So you're spot on. I mean, and you take a quarterback, look at the quarterbacks around the league that are able to get rid of the football quickly, and their sack numbers are low, even though their offensive lines aren't that talented. I mean, you could blame Penei Sewell all you want, but if you're asking him to block a grown man for 10 seconds, and then good luck. Nobody can do that in this league. So it's very hard. Unless you're frickin' Quentin Nelson or some one of the top guards or offensive linemen. It ain't going to happen. So good luck with that. It ain't going to happen. Jared Goff sucks.
Okay,
That's what we're
he's screaming now. I'm saying that we have enough offensive linemen for now. Time for defense, you think. I agree. Now, you drafted Penei Sewell. Now you're complete. Now you are. And you'll likely move Decker in the offseason and grab a right tackle either through free agency or late in the draft. But I guarantee you, 4 of your first 5 picks this year are going to be a defensive player. So chill out and relax. What's the problem? Goff is awful. There's nothing you can do to fix it. You could give him 10 seconds in the pocket, he wouldn't hit an open receiver. So just stop. We agree. He's worse than Chuck Long. I don't know who Chuck Long is, but whatever.
He's worse than Chuck. We'll throw it out.
He's worse than Fish. I bet Fish could do a better job at quarterback for the Detroit Lions. Honestly.
Fish for QB.
Would you take Mike White? Honestly, Mike White's over there throwing for 400 yards. Listen, for the Jets and that offensive line.
I would take Jamarcus Russell. I would take Jamarcus Russell today over Jared Goff. Jared Goff is awful. And I just can't understand the drop from grace. The dude was a borderline elite quarterback 3 years into the NFL and has regressed every single year since. That is a tragedy. It really is. Like, I'll rag on him and say he sucks. But, like, jokes aside now, this is, like, unprecedented. I don't remember a quarterback starting that good, having almost an MVP-type season, reaching the pinnacle point, getting to a Super Bowl, and then regressing every year since.
Yeah.
And he's not been injured. You know, a thumb injury, okay, but no significant injury. He wasn't taken out of the league like an RG3 because of an ACL injury. He didn't tear his ACL. Nothing. It's just he's regressed. He's gotten worse.
At least guys like Joe Flacco, at least won before he's, kind of started regressing.
But Joe Flacco was carried by an elite defense and a great head coach in John Harbaugh.
And that's similar, you can kind of say of Jared Goff. Good defense, and he was carried by his head coach, but he didn't even win, and he's gotten worse.
Easy, you should listen. I said he was borderline elite 3 years into the NFL, and he's regressed every single year since. If you don't go back and acknowledge that year 3, he was a borderline elite quarterback, I think you're just delusional. So no, he was borderline elite. He was damn good that year.
Yeah, 30-plus touchdowns.
13-3.
Yeah.
30 touchdowns. He was doing good. Kid was nice. And he's regressed every year since, and now he's a bum. And shouldn't get a second or a third contract, I should say. That's simple. Kayvon Thibodeau, number 1 overall pick. I think we all agree. I would take Dan Orlovsky over Jared Goff. I love Dan Orlovsky, by the way. He is such a good follow on Twitter. Honestly,
he's great.
He
is hilarious.
We got to get him on the show one time.
Super insightful.
He'd be great.
Yeah, we'll reach out. We'll try. I don't mind.
I love Dan Orlovsky.
All right, you guys, but back to Thursday night. So your
predictions,
yes,
probably,
please.
right?
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's
we got
okay.
off track a bit.
I know. It happens.
I apologize, Kennedy. Forgive us. All right, tonight I'm going to go Colts win big, 35-17. I think they take care of business. I'm hoping Michael Pittman 2 touchdown catches, please. Defense, special teams touchdown, I would appreciate it. Fantasy, you understand. This is the reality of the world we live in. We're going to be rooting and biased because of fantasy football. I can't help it. But no, I think the Colts pull away. Maybe not as dominating. Maybe I should rethink that thought. Maybe they don't dominate, but I think the defense is going to give White problems.
They're going to shut him down.
I mean, Jamison Crowder, Corey Davis, it's nothing special. Michael Carter, rookie running back. The O-line's not all that special. I think Indianapolis will pose threats and problems for the New York Jets offense.
I was going to say 31-13, so we're both kind of on the blowout parameters, and that's maybe me being biased because I want the Colts defense to shut the Jets down, but that's what I expect. Listen, Mike White, 400 yards. Don't think he repeats that against a very tough Colts defense. The Colts defense they've been taking care of business against bad teams. I think they do it tonight against the Jets, so they win convincingly, and Carson Wentz gets another win. So, Colts win.
Yeah, I can't understand people in the chat. Like, you're really naive. You're actually naive. Jared Goff, the 13-3 year, put up 50, almost 60 points on Monday Night Football in that thrilling matchup.
Yes.
The kid was balling. Yes, Sean McVay is extremely responsible for that, but the kid was playing very well.
Yeah.
And the problem is, after that year, when he peaked, he became god awful every year since. So he was close to being an elite quarterback, and he never took the next step. He was close to it, never took the next step. He regressed every year since. I'm not understanding how... I disagree. He was never borderline elite. He was putting up elite numbers.
Yeah,
I should say borderline elite numbers. And why he wasn't elite is because he was still turning the ball over a ton. I think he had 12 interceptions that year. Stop the nonsense. He was playing at a pretty damn high level. So, enough.
All right, you guys. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. D-Mac, Neil Rule, Joik Bell, Big D Energy coming up next. Make sure you stick around for that. This has been the Morning Woodward Show. We will see you tomorrow on a beautiful Friday morning. See you then.